Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Aso, this is Aso Tarot, and in today's highly requested reading, we are going to be looking at a current or future best friend that you will have in your life. Now, I'm a firm believer that there is no such thing as only having one best friend. I have acquaintances and I have besties because every person that I'm friends with is in fact the best. So don't feel like you have to, like if you get someone that's in the future and you're like, does this mean I won't be friends with who I'm friends with now? No, absolutely not. It just means you'll have more merriment in your life, and we love that for you. But if you are searching for a best friend, then this is an awesome opportunity to see who that might be. So what we are going to be doing today is we're going to start by looking at the energy of this friend and see who they are. And we're also going to look at what the overall energy of the friendship is, the most summarizing just like the best qualities of it, or like the most powerful qualities of it. I guess that's a better word. And then we're going to get extra details by using Astro dice and my letters and numbers just for extra confirmation and help for you. And then we're going to move into the tarot and we're going to look at how will you meet if you haven't met them yet, or if you are still somewhat unsure. If this is someone already in your life, we're going to look at how you did meet. So if this is someone in your life, that can serve as extra confirmation. Then we're going to look at a unique quality of this friendship for the both of you. So something that is special and unique to just you and them that you don't have in other friendships. Then we're going to look at one thing they love about you or will love about you if you haven't met them yet. We're also going to look at a message from them, and if you know them, then it'll be a message from their human self, and if you haven't met them yet, it'll be a message from their higher self. And then we are going to finish off using a little book divination. We're just going to pull a book message from the book How to Connect by Thich Nhat Hanh. So I'm really excited to do this reading today, and hopefully you guys are excited to watch it. So we have 3 different groups for you to choose from today. I have the oracle cards that I'm already using underneath the piles, but starting with pile number 1, I had to use this tarot deck. I almost filmed this reading without this deck, and that would have been sacrilege. We are using the Golden Girls Tarot, and I have this Aqua Aura Quartz point on top. And then for group number 2, we are going to be using the Kitten Nugget Tarot, and I have this ruby aura coated point on top. I imagine it's a quartz, so. And then finally for group number 3, we are going to be using the Spirit Song Tarot, and I have this, why can't I think of words? Clear quartz, aura coated clear quartz point, say that 5 times fast, on top. And this deck is pretty rad because my mom got it for me, and my mom is the best. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It is absolutely okay to watch more than one, even all 3 if you feel drawn to it. That's absolutely okay, and I would hope that you have lots of wonderful people in your life and lots of wonderful friends in your life. And if you don't, this is a great opportunity to connect with the wonderful people that will be in your future, and so I am excited to look at these energies today. Now, with that being said, I need to use code ASO10 for 10% off in terms of my candles because I do not have new ones right now. But we are going to be using one of my Magician candles that I've obviously already used a little bit. But the Magician candle is perfect for manifestation, alchemy, things like as above, so below, you know, that jazz, creation using the powers of heaven and earth. And I thought it would be awesome for this Make-A-Wish to make a wish related to a best friend already in your life, or a wish around meeting or manifesting a best friend. So you don't have to. You can wish about anything you want. I am not, you know, a control of wish freak. But once you have thought of your wish, just go ahead and take a second to kind of infuse it into the energy of the candle. And I will go ahead now and light it. May yours, mine, and all of our wishes come true. I hope my nail isn't being set on fire. It is not. That is awesome. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. Like I said, it's also absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. Maybe you'll find a friend that is currently in your life as well as a friend that's coming into your future. I don't care, but thank you. Well, I mean, I care in terms of like, I care that it resonates and stuff, but I mean, like, I don't care how you go about doing this. I care about you. That being said, thank you for being my friend. I'm not going to sing the entire Golden Girls intro, but thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. I will see you in a moment. Hi there, pile one. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the ruby or a quartz point, we'll put that here, and the Golden Girls Tarot, this is going to be your reading on a current or future best friend that is or will be in your life. If you want a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro, but we're going to go ahead and start by looking at who this person is and what the core themes of your friendship are. I wish I had thought of core themes of friendship when I filmed the intro, but that's okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by looking at who this is. So we have the archetype of bully, highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. We will get to that. And I'll just say right now, if you're friends with someone that bullies you, maybe stop it, and we'll get there. Okay, other aspects. We have North Node with destiny, soul school, learning curve, fulfillment, purpose, maturing, experience, all that jazz. You can keep reading if you want to, as well as answers, and then the core themes of your friendship. We have, I open my soul to the realm of the miraculous, where infinite resourcefulness, goodness, and generosity bestow abundant blessings endlessly. We have love with the planet Venus, beauty, harmony, romance, charm, receiving, sensuality, luxury, wealth, all that jazz. And we have the Empress. So yeah, if you saw this and you were like, what, they're gonna bully me? No, absolutely not. But if you are friends with people that are unkind to you or bully you, I would highly recommend maybe setting some boundaries or talking to them, or, you know, if they're unwilling to treat you with respect and kindness, then maybe don't have them as a friend. But I see this and this person as much more of a no bullshit type of person. And I actually think that this energy makes a lot of sense considering we're using the Golden Girls Tarot. In fact, this cloud person even kind of looks like B. Arthur. And if you know B. Arthur's character in the Golden Girls, she plays Dorothy. The energy of this current or future best friend gives me Dorothy vibes, especially with Ansuz being here as well. This is someone who's incredibly witty, and also someone who is not going to let you lie to yourself, and also not let you disempower yourself or make yourself smaller than you really are. This is someone who's going to call you out in loving ways to remind you what you deserve, and also let you know when you're being unfair to yourself or when you are not seeing things clearly. Like if you are someone who is beating yourself up, or if you are doing something that this person feels like is unfair to you, you know, they are not going to stand for that. I feel like this is someone who has learned to stand up to bullying, and someone who also has a sense of humor. So if you think of the Golden Girls, like, you know, one specific example that I keep thinking of is one where Dorothy and Blanche are talking, and Blanche is talking about a date that she's going on, and she says to Dorothy, well, you know, he's nearly 5 years younger than me. And Dorothy goes, in what, Blanche? Dog years? And is that the kindest thing? No. But you will know if you're the type of person where loving, playful banter is acceptable or not. And this is the type of person where if you weren't okay with that, that wouldn't happen. Like, this is someone who is respectful of boundaries, but they also are not willing to placate your bullshit. So like if like this person knows you're capable of something and you keep beating yourself up, like they're not gonna let you do that. Or if you are having trouble seeing your worth, like this person is going to call you out on like ways that you disempower yourself. This is someone who is really eloquent, likely has a lot of wisdom. And I also think that this is someone who stands up to bullying. This is someone who is not okay with other people walking all over them. It's kind of interesting too. They might have some Aries energy, because even this like little mark in between their eyebrows kind of looks like the ram Aries. But I also think that this person is intertwined with your future and their future in some way. The fact that we have the Destiny card being here, it could be that you guys have the same North Node, or you have opposing North Nodes. Opposing North Nodes can be really helpful because what you've already mastered, the other person needs to learn. So for example, I'm a Virgo North Node with a Pisces South Node. And if I'm talking to someone who is a Pisces North Node with a Virgo South Node, we're going to be able to help each other because I've already mastered Pisces energy and they've already mastered Virgo energy. So we can kind of help each other move towards, you know, where we are meant to go. I definitely think that this is someone who is meant to be in your life and someone who you will have really enriching conversations with. This person could be a writer. They could be someone who just really likes to talk on the phone or text a lot. They're definitely very verbal. And this is someone who does not beat around the bush. They are not going to like, for example, this is not someone who is passive aggressive. This is someone who will bring things, like if there is an issue, they're gonna be straight up and be like, hey, so XYZ has been happening. Like, can we work through this? I also think a lot of people might be intimidated by this person, maybe because they are such a straight shooter or they are someone who is not afraid of speaking the truth. Like they are not going to, like I said, placate you. Or anyone for that matter, and they're not going to tolerate anyone being unkind to you. There is a protectiveness around their friends where they not only want the best for their friends, but if someone is speaking to you disrespectfully or being disrespectful to you, they are either going to be like, no, you need to stand up for yourself, or if you don't, I will. Like, but I feel like this is someone who would not stand up for you in the sense where they know you're capable of doing it, and they're like, no, you need to do this because they love you. Like, let's talk about the aspects of the friendship, because you look at this and you might be like, oh, like, what is this gonna be a bad friend? Like, no, you're not forced or required to be friends with people that treat you like crap. Please don't do that. But I can understand how this archetype would be a little bit concerning, but it is not like you're not meant to have a friend that bullies you. The universe doesn't want that for you, and you shouldn't want that for yourself. But the aspects of the friendship are so soft and sweet and beautiful. I mean, the fact that we have Venus with love and the Empress. I mean, the Empress is literally Venusian energy. The Empress speaks to, well, technically, the Empress is ruled by Venus, which has Taurus and Libra placements, but the aspects of this friendship are very nurturing and creative. I feel like this is someone who you'll be able to go to about anything. I feel like you both will be each other's biggest cheerleaders, and I also feel like this friend will be very soft with you, where they will, you know, give you the truth. Like, if they have to have a difficult conversation with you, they're not going to like be mean to you about it. They're going to be very gentle with you. Like, if you are the type of person who is just softer or, you know, needs a more gentle approach, I feel like this person will know that and be very generous with you. The fact, and I mean, we have that here. There's infinite resourcefulness, goodness, and generosity that bestows abundant blessings. So I feel like the both of you will find a lot of blessings together through this friendship. And I also feel like there will just be a deep sense of love between the two of you. You guys will do things together that you love. That may be one thing you bond over. Like, one thing I'm seeing is you guys like walking through a city and, you know, window shopping together, or staking out like cafes that you want to visit, or you might bond over different sensory experiences like going to get food, or watching movies that you really like, or you might like shopping for the same things. I definitely feel like when you guys are together, you will also give yourselves permission to indulge and be more sensual than you normally would. It's like, this is the type of friendship where you can take your bra off, really, like literally or metaphorically, in the sense where you're fully from each other, and there's just a lot of love and appreciation for each other. And the fact that we have the Empress here, I definitely feel like it might take time for you and this person to get closer, but as you both get to know each other, there will be like just an unfoldment of respect and understanding and unconditional love for each other. I really do feel like you both will adore the other. You both will want the best for the other. And I think that you will encourage each other to expand your ideas of what you think is possible and expand your ideas of what friendship means to you. I definitely think there will be a creative component to this friendship, whether you both create together, you have creative collaborations, or you just inspire and encourage one another to embrace your own creative opportunities. Like you guys might do something like create separately together. So you're like doing your own thing, but you're just spending that time with each other. I feel like one thing that this person will really love about you, and we'll look in the tarot, maybe something else will come out, but I feel like you are going to be very gentle with this person in a way that they're not gentle with themselves. I do think that this bully energy does extend to the fact that this person does bully themselves and is very hard on themselves in the same way that you are. And the irony is that they're going to be able to call it out in you, but they're not going to be able to see it in themselves. There's going to be this kind of like cognitive dissonance where they're like, no, well, but yeah, but it's true for me. Like I have to do things this way, or I do need to be harder on myself. And I feel like you're going to have this really beautiful energy of like, no, you don't. Like that's, and you'll call them out and be like, how is it fair, for you to treat yourself that way when if I treated myself that way, you would call me out in 10 seconds. There's this beautiful vibe too, where maybe the both of you like will be parents together, or like bond over parenthood, whether that is, parenthood of the human child kind or the plant or animal kind. I do feel like there is just a beautiful nurturing quality to this where you will feel, sorry, I'm burping, nurtured and cared for in each other's presence, as well as kind of emphasize like creating lives for yourselves that are more nurturing and kind, and just encouraging of where you both want to go and who you want to be. I definitely think you both will indulge in your feminine sides when you are together. It doesn't matter if you are two men or a man and a woman or whatever it may be. We're reading energies here. You both will feel comfortable to just be more gentle with yourselves, to be more indulgent, to be just like your truest, softest selves. It's like if you guys were crabs, you could take off your shells with each other. And I definitely think that there is just like a love for each other that you just see like the beauty in one another, and the friendship inspires a lot of beauty, or inspires you to see a lot of beauty. It could bring a lot of, like I said, creative inspiration. And I feel like you are just going to find that this friendship brings you nothing but blessings. And the challenges of this friendship are not challenges between the two of you. They're challenges within yourselves that the other is pointing out, and also encourage, and you're like encouraging the other to rise to the occasion and be even more loving and gentle and understanding and empowering with yourselves. And I think that this is like a true, what's the right word? Like you guys are a team, or two peas in a pod. It's a very beautiful energy, and I think that there are going to be many aspects to your friendship, like the fact that we have this rainbow here and this mandala, and I mean, there's infinite resourcefulness, goodness, generosity. Like I feel like you guys will never get tired of each other. You'll always keep things interesting, and if you're someone who really likes to connect with someone, in like an intellectual way or through communication, I think you guys are going to get along really well. You may bond over poetry or certain authors or like certain podcasts. Like I feel like you guys might just really enjoy the spoken word together and really enjoy each other's abilities to write or speak. You guys definitely feel like you're on the same playing field, and I think you both have wisdom for each other that you will help the other integrate. And it's just going to be this beautiful thing where it's a very beautiful symbiotic relationship, I would say. And the more you get to know one another, the more your bond will be cemented and the more comfortable you both will be. And there will be deep respect and appreciation for one another. So Let's go ahead now and get some letters and numbers for confirmation. I'm also going to roll the Astro dice. So whether these letters and numbers represent you or them, that's absolutely okay. Just take what resonates here. But Spirit, what letters and numbers are relevant for pile 1 and their current or future friend, please? And I'm hearing the Golden Girls theme song in my head. Like, your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. Like, I feel like that's how it's going to be for the both of you. But in terms of letters and numbers, we have 3, 4, I believe that's a 9. We have the number 7. We have a 0. I think that's an O. So for letters, we have a Q, we have a T. Maybe you guys will think each other is very cute, or you'll have a very cute, sweet friendship. We have 2 O's. And I'm seeing the word loot and also foot. So you guys may need to, like, you guys will encourage one another to put your foot down when necessary. But also a lot of abundance could be indicated here. Like the inspiration you guys bring each other, or, you know, the work that you do together could bring you a lot of abundance. We also have an E, as well as an R and an A. So you could be far away from this person. You may meet them online or long distance, or you guys will go far together, or maybe you will feel comfortable to fart in the same room. We also have a P, and I think that is it. So those are the letters and numbers. Ooh, you guys might bond over Edgar Allan Poe, or that name could be significant. But let's go ahead now and see what the Astro dice have for us. So, Spirit, are there any other details? Ooh, also the sound of music. Like I'm hearing, you know, fa, a long, long way to run. Spirit, what signs and other information can you give us about this current or future friend, please? Okay, well, one of the that are, oh, come on, why did the dice have to ruin the best part? Okay, one of them fell down, so I gotta grab that. And what is it? Okay, we have number 9. Let's see, we have 9, 2, we have Cancer, Taurus, we have Venus again, and Neptune. So Pisces energy. Oh, and we have the North Node. So the North Node is being indicated again, so you could have some sort of significant North Node placement with them. I do feel like you will bring one another closer to your destinies. Like I said, we have Cancer energy here, and we also have, so Taurus placements could be significant. The number 2 would be the 2nd house, which is ruled by Taurus. The number 9, 9th house, would be Sagittarius energy. So with 2 being security, resources, self-esteem, I definitely think you both are going to help one another with that. And you may bond over philosophical ideas, even spiritual ones. The fact that we have Neptune here, you may cut through illusions together. I really hope that's Neptune. Yeah, I think that's Neptune, because it looks like Poseidon's like Triton. Yeah, because that's Pluto. And we have Venus here. So definitely, I think you guys could be really great resources for one another if you are looking for love. I definitely feel like this will be a beautiful, you know, it could be a romantic love, like never say never, but I do think that this will be a very deep, true, platonic love. And you might teach one another a lot about romance in terms of like romanticizing your lives, embracing romance and friendships, like not in the sense that, not in a way that's like weird or uncomfortable, but in a way where it's like, let's really treat ourselves, and like, let's really, you know, put, like, let's splurge today, or let's do something that's really going to make ourselves feel good. Like, I just see this aspect where you guys encourage one another to treat yourselves well and spoil yourselves and treat yourselves the way you would want to be treated. I definitely feel like you guys are going to encourage the best out of one another. And I also feel like with this Cancer energy, I was speaking of crabs earlier, I feel like you both will kind of have a nurturing motherly energy with each other, or parental energy, where when you can't be your own parent or you can't really see something, it's like one of you will step in and really be like, hey now, I don't think that's fair to you, or I don't think that's right. And yeah, really, really beautiful energies. So those are your dice. I feel like I'm just gonna move these over to the side. Excuse me, ma'am, I did not say that you could change. Oh, maybe it was the South Node. Was I wrong? Oh no, the Venus one changed. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm just gonna move these off of the board because they're gonna get all over the place, but we're gonna go ahead and get into your tarot now. Like I said, you guys chose the Golden Girls Tarot. One thing I will say is I don't use this deck very often because the cards are very fragile. So if you're interested in getting this deck, that's one thing I just think you may want to be aware of, is like this may not be like the best deck for everyday use, because it might just get, I mean, unless you want to use it, if you want it to stay like looking nice and new, it may not remain that way because the cards are kind of flimsy, but that's okay. And with that being said, if you're enjoying this or appreciating it, thank you to everyone who takes the time to leave me a little like or a comment. Definitely let me know if you know who this friend is, or if this sounds like the type of friend that you've been wanting to manifest. I would love to hear. But we are going to go ahead and start by looking at how you will meet this person, or if you haven't, or if you've already met them, this will just confirm like this is who you were thinking of. So Spirit, how will pile 1 meet this friend, please? Oh, we have the 9 of Cups. So you're going to meet them through, one, it could be literally like manifesting, like this, like being friends with them could be a wish come true. Or maybe you will meet them while you're doing something that is a wish come true for you. Like, let's say you got to go on a trip that like you've been dreaming of, and they're also on this trip. Or maybe you meet by chance in a way where you're not expecting to. Maybe you even, like, the one example that I'm thinking of is like, before I did this for a living, I used to watch Kino Tarot, and I used to wish that she was my friend. And then, you know, one day she commented on one of my videos, and you know, the rest was history. So, you know, like that was literally like a wish come true for me. So maybe there is some aspect of like, you already know who this person is, but you want to be closer friends with them, or this type of person is someone that you've been wishing for, and so the universe is like, oh, we're gonna make that happen. But also you could meet them through some sort of like, if you are in school for I don't know what it's called. If you're in culinary school, you could meet them through something like that. You could also just meet them through a hobby that you really enjoy, or through like a group where you guys share this hobby. I also think with the 9 of Cups here, it could be too that the way that you meet them, especially if you haven't met them yet, is being obscured, because the universe doesn't want you to get too in your head about it or be too focused about it, because they're going to come through in this really like surprising and exciting way for you, where you're like, oh my God, like I like, you didn't even realize, like it's like it's gonna fall into place really beautifully. But if you meet them in person or online, well, I mean, when you meet them, it will definitely be through something that like you both care about or find to be very meaningful. And I also think here with the 9 of Cups, like if you have a wish in terms of something you want to do or experience or travel to, you could meet them through that way. But definitely like them coming in is like a answered prayer from the universe without even realizing. Like you may not even thought you could have like a friend like that, or may not even thought that like a friend like that could come into your life, and it's like all of a sudden, like when you least expect it, there you go, there it is. So I definitely think that it could be different for all of you, but it is connected to personal fulfillment and deep desire on your part, and likely their part as well. Like, for example, the reason why Kino commented on my video is because I was talking about Shrek, and we both have excellent taste in cinema. So, you know, we bonded over that, our love, you know, Shrek is love, Shrek is life, and we both recognize that. So, you know, it could be something that you both mutually love. Maybe you're just at the grocery store trying to buy the same type of cheesecake. Who knows? But I do think that for some of you, it could almost be like a story. Like you wouldn't expect to meet someone this way, and yet against all odds it happened. So I definitely think that your meeting will be some sort of wish fulfillment for you, or a wish fulfillment you're doing for yourself leads you to this person. But now I want to look at one unique aspect of this friendship that neither you nor them have in other friendships. So Spirit, what aspect of this friendship is unique to pile 1 and their current or future bestie? Okay, well, I guess we're getting 2. Oh, we have the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. So this kind of goes back into the core aspects of the friendship, where the both of you really feel genuinely nurtured and safe with one another. If you're looking for parent friends, I do think that maybe parenthood could be like an aspect or a bonding component of this friendship. But I also think it's just one where both of you feel free to explore the things that light your heart on fire, that excite you, that get you in tune with yourself emotionally. Like especially this friend, I feel like they may not get in touch with their heart space very often, or allow themselves to really enjoy the finer things in life, or enjoy the things that really make them feel good for just the sake of feeling good. And so I think both of you are going to be each other's like parents in a way where you really give the other the permission that you can't seem to give yourselves to enjoy life and to embrace the present moment. I also think that you're going to just feel very nurtured and safe in each other's presence. Like when you need a voice of reason that's not going to judge you, you're going to go to each other. When you need a partner to go do this fun art class with you, this is this person. When you want someone to go on a eat, pray, love trip, I don't really know what that necessarily entails. I've never read the book, but that's what came to mind. Like, this is the person that's going to go with you. Like, when you can't give yourselves permission to do things that bring you joy, this person and you will give each other that permission. And in some ways you may feel like, oh my God, we're so bad. Like, we're so bad. We're eating a second piece of cheesecake. And you guys are going to act like you're like, you know, on the FBI's most wanted list for being so naughty and having that extra slice. But it's like your little inside joke. Like, this is a relationship where neither of you really sacrifices. You both get to be yourselves, and you both have this inner security in yourselves where you don't have to feel like you don't have to guard yourself in a way that maybe past friendships you did. You know, if you've dealt with people that are jealous or that, you know, are passive aggressive or disempowering, like, I feel like both of you may bond over, you know, past challenging friendships that really, you know, made you feel unworthy or not good enough, or like, you know, you didn't deserve genuine kindness, or that like genuine friendships that are just, you know, two people literally just mutually caring about each other. Like, oh, that doesn't exist. Like, you guys are going to prove to one another that it does. Like, you may have felt like in the past, you know, that idea of friendship was over idealized and those types of friendships only exist in books. And it's like, well, no, your friendship with them could be a book itself if y'all wanted to write it. But you will realize like that can be a reality, and you'll also realize why it's so important not to settle for friendships that are unfulfilling, or that make you feel bad about yourself, or that, you know, are bullying. You know, I think of that phrase with a friend like that who needs enemies. I feel like you guys might bond over, you know, just not necessarily trashing like people from your past, but just being like, man, I can't believe I settled for that. I also feel like there's just this emphasis on enjoying the finer things, and I feel like you both will be in similar financial situations, so you'll be able to do the same things together. Or like, let's say for example, like, you know, both of you are trying to change your financial situation or improve it. I feel like both of you will do things together to improve that. Like, you might share like books that, you know, are helpful for the both of you, or you might meal prep together to prepare for things, or you might budget together, or just do things that you kind of dread doing together to make it more fun. I feel like anytime you are with each other, you feel cherished and valued in a way that maybe you don't get in other friendships or just in life in general. And I think that you'll truly see one another, and not just for like, you know, the surface level aspects of self, but like your spirits, your souls. You're going to see like the preciousness of one another. And I feel like if, you know, both of you have had a lot of heartbreak in the past, or just a lot of frustration, like one or both of you has had a Stanley in your lives, or that's a Golden Girls reference if you're unaware, or, you know, just people that didn't treat y'all right. Like, I feel like you guys are going to be falling in love with life together, and just seeing like how beautiful and wonderful you can make it together. And I feel like this is just going to be like a mutually fulfilling friendship where you both feel loved, you feel cherished, you feel nurtured, and there's a positive container of energy you create together, where not only what you create becomes more, what's the right word? Potent and powerful, but also I think you give one another the confidence to see your own worth, and to, you know, step out into the world like someone who knows their worth and knows what they deserve. So I think this is beautiful. And if you're already with this person, congrats. And if you haven't met this person yet, I can't wait for you to, because I think that life is going to be a lot sweeter with them by your side. And, you know, and one aspect here too is that like the truth will always be something that brings you closer and sets you free in this connection. Like, if you and this person ever have conflict, it's just going to bring you closer together, and you're not going to repeat like similar conflicts. Like, if you were to have a conflict, you guys would talk about it, come to an agreement, and then like move forward, and it wouldn't be a thing. Like, you wouldn't be dredging it up, you wouldn't be falling into a similar cycle. There's just like, you genuinely value each other and cherish one another in a way that is just so beautiful and pure and powerful. And I feel like that's going to make you both highly protective of one another, and I love that for you guys. So now I want to see something that this friend will love about you. So what will this current or future bestie love about pile 1, please, Spirit? Everything. I don't think it's necessarily fair to have Dorothy and Stanley there as lovers, but all right. I think one thing that they will love about you, like, this is Gemini energy, so your intellect and your ability to converse. I definitely think if some of what I was talking about sounds like you, then I feel like you will find your match in them. Like, you will be intellectually challenging for one another, but also intellectually you'll be on the same wavelength. And I feel like you guys will just love to share ideas and theories and just talk. I think that what they will love about you is you know, your ability to keep up with them intellectually. And I really am getting this vibe of like, what is there not to love? Like, everything is to love about you. Like, even your flaws, which we all have, are lovable. And I feel like this current or future best friend is really just going to love how much they love life when they're with you, and love how much love you have to give, not only to them, but to people in general, and how loving your heart is, how loving your spirit is. And I think that they're also just going to love your perspective on the world and how you see things. And Archangel Raphael could be significant in this friendship as well. Or a middleman named Sophia, because Sophia is up there. But I definitely think they're going to love that you guys really balance each other out really well. Like, you're the same where it matters, and you're different in ways that help one another grow. And I also just feel like they are going to love your mind and talking to you and getting lost in conversation with you. Like, I could see you guys like sitting out like by a river, just talking for hours, and like having a little picnic, and just, you know, watching the sun go down and be like, oh shit, you know, it's dark out, maybe we should go home, or maybe we should, you know, find a lantern so we can keep talking. Like, I think that time just kind of melts when you're with each other, and there's just gonna be this like, it's so nice to spend time with you. It's so nice to be with you. And what's not to love? They're gonna love everything, but I think if they could pick one thing, it's maybe the conversations they have with you, the insights you inspire within them, and your ability to be on their wave, like on the same wavelength as them. So now I want to get a message from them if you already know them, and their higher self if you don't know them. So if you don't know what a higher self is, it's just basically like the soul version of them. The most evolved, it kind of exists more in the spiritual planes, but you know, we bring our higher selves down here often. But anyway, Spirit, what does this friend want Pile, or this friend's higher self, want Pile 1 to know at this time for their highest good? Okay. We have the Hierophant. So I definitely think that this is a message about trusting the path that you're on, but also there's a couple of different things here. If you are in a traditional like romantic relationship with someone and it is going well, I feel like they want you, or their higher self wants you to know, to not like disempower or doubt yourself or feel like you are unworthy or undeserving of these beautiful blessings here. But if this relationship is one where you are really struggling or you are feeling unloved or disempowered, I feel like their higher self is coming through to ask you to be really honest with yourself about your needs and whether the situation is serving you. Obviously, I would never ever tell you what to do. Like, that is up to you. But if you resonate with that situation, I feel like this person is coming through for, you know, aspects of truth where they're wanting you to remember that your well-being is more important than tradition. And if you are valuing tradition over your well-being, that may be something you want to reflect on and ask yourself why. I also feel like this could be encouragement as well. Like if you are seeking guidance of some kind or thinking about like going to therapy or getting help in some sort of way, I see a lot of encouragement there and a sign that that could be really beneficial or useful. But if you are in school or if you are studying higher spiritual concepts, they're also encouraging you to continue doing this and to really enjoy and appreciate that. I also see encouragement here for you to really embrace your spirit when it comes to following what you're passionate about. If you are doing something that is of a more traditional route and you feel like you have to hide parts of yourself, I feel like this friend is coming through to really ask you to remember that the unique parts of yourself could be really beneficial to whatever traditional route you're going down, and to not hide those aspects of self, even if people don't understand the value of having all of you here, or having like, you know, the parts of you that other people may not understand, like showing up with those. There's a lot of gifts in there that you may not see. And I feel like I'm seeing like a staircase, and it's one that's like converging. So if you haven't met them yet, I feel like they want you to know that you guys are well on your way to finding one another, and they want you to continue just committing to your path and committing to what feels right, because, you know, you guys are going to find each other one way or another. But I also think here too that they want you to not doubt your own inner wisdom. And if you feel like you can't trust your own wisdom, to seek out, you know, a source that you respect and that you know is trusting and nurturing of you. I feel like this no nonsense energy is kind of correlating with how sometimes influential figures that we seek guidance from may not necessarily have our best interests at heart, or the framework from which they give guidance may not be the most beneficial for you. You know, like an example that I'm getting is the idea of like, and I'm not saying that this is your situation, but like an example would be, you know, valuing the sanctity of marriage over, you know, how those two people are doing in the marriage. Like, you know, for example, if there's abuse or, you know, cheating or things like that. I'm not saying that that is your case at all, but like valuing the idea over how it is actually translating into your everyday life. And that can be in so many different ways. Like let's say, for example, you've been committing yourself to this specific job, and, you know, your time isn't being respected, your energy isn't being respected, you don't feel good. Like, but you're continuing to stay there because there's that idea of like, oh, well, you need to be loyal to your job, or you need to stick it out and prove yourself dependable. Like, I feel like their higher self is coming through to say you owe it to yourself to be loyal to you and to pay attention to how you value tradition over your own well-being. And if your well-being gets in the way of that, to really consider how and if you are going to make any changes that honor yourself more. I'm not telling you to do anything. I don't know what your situation is. All I do know is that this person really wants you to trust that you're already on the right path, and that you don't have to fit into a box that isn't meant for you, or keep yourself stuck in a box that doesn't serve you. I definitely think that you deserve, and this person thinks you deserve, to find structure and tradition that allows you to be all of yourself, not just the parts of yourself that you think are acceptable. And if those circles and spaces don't exist, I think that you may be part of creating that, and maybe part of, forging your own way. And if you are like looking into spiritual leadership or leadership of some kind, I feel like this friend is really encouraging you to trust your own inner judgment and trust where your leadership is guiding you. And, if you are trying to seek out guidance from figures that you respect, like, to make sure to be discerning of what their framework is, and to make sure that they genuinely have your best interests at heart. Because, sometimes people do have our best interests at heart, but the way that they look at the world is vastly different than how we do, and what they value is different. And, sometimes we can flippantly give guidance to people that ends up actually being very harmful. And so, and this is for me as well, if you're ever watching or reading and it's not bringing you clarity, it's making you more confused, or it's not making you feel good or just feel more at peace, like, that's not the reading for you. It may be for someone else, but it's not for you. Like, you shouldn't take guidance unless it brings you more clarity and more trust in yourself, and trust in, what is meant for you. You are in charge of your own life. And I definitely think that this friend is coming through to remind you who the fuck you are, and the fact that you deserve to follow the path that is most empowering. And if the path that you're on is disempowering, that is not serving you, is not serving your soul, I feel like they're coming through to say, like, you know in your heart what is true for you, and you don't have to waste time ignoring it if you don't want to. And I guess it's not it's not technically a waste of time, but there's just this deep energy of like caring here, and needing you to remember that you have more wisdom than you realize, and when what you're being told feels constricting, feels stifling, feels disempowering, it may not be the right guidance for you. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and finish off with a book message from this book called How to Connect. So I'm just going to do this and close my eyes, and we'll just see, Spirit, what message do you want to leave pile 1 off with? The meditation. In Plum Village, we often have a tea meditation. We take time to prepare everything beforehand so that we can enjoy a quiet and peaceful atmosphere. We arrange the cushions and mats in a circle and prepare a beautiful vase of flowers in the center. Then we come together to enjoy a cup of tea, a cookie, and the company of others for about an hour and a half. We have nothing to do, nowhere to go. In this serene, intimate, and informal atmosphere, we share poems, songs, and stories. This sounds like your friendship, or what it's going to be. Usually, it only takes a few minutes to drink a cup of tea, but taking time to be truly present for one another like this, we nourish mutual understanding and happiness. Okay, this is so beautiful. So I definitely feel like there is guidance here. If you haven't met this person yet, one way you can help manifest them into existence is to practice this and pretend like they're already here. Feel like if you felt their vibe or felt their energy in this reading, like, feel what it would be like to have them with you while you do this, and practice being present with yourself and doing these things just for you. And if this friend already exists, you know, maybe this is something that you guys can do together and enjoy together. But nourishing mutual understanding and happiness, I definitely think, is a powerful aspect of this friendship and something that you guys will share. And whether you have met this person or not, definitely let me know, like, have you met this person? Have you not? What intuitive insights do you get about them? If you know them, is it accurate? I would love to hear. But with that being said, pile 1, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background, because that is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show appreciation for my channel and support me and my readings. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell. Shout out to my intro squad and notification squad. If you click that little notification bell, you will be part of my notification squad, which allows you to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. And if you want me to see your comments, I usually see comments when I first upload. So just note that. You can also check out my social media. You can check out my candles or any candles on Angelic Magic 888 site using code ESO10 for 10% off. You can check out my merch or other readings, especially ones with extendeds. But that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for being here and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Ruby Aura Coated Quartz and the Kitten Nugget Tarot, this is going to be your reading on a current or future best friend in your life. So if you want a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro, but we're going to go ahead and start by looking at who this friend is and what the core aspects of this friendship are or will be. So to start, we have Saboteur. Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. We have the butt planet, Uranus, beautiful. With a revolution, breakthroughs, brainstorming, originality, insight, awakening, technology, innovation, humanitarianism. You can read the rest if you would like. And we have Virgo. And then for the core aspects of the friendship, we have I am a living mandala of unique divine beauty. We have the number 888, alignment into a higher order of abundance, beautiful. We also have conjunction with empowerment. So empowerment is your vocab word for this friendship. Combines with, enhances, strengthens, joins forces, activates, intensifies, authorizes, allies with, etc., etc. And we have justice with another number 8. So the number 8 is definitely significant here. I love this energy. I'm not even gonna lie. And if you don't know this person yet, I can tell you will love them. They are not of this world, and yet somehow so down to earth. Starting with who they are definitely someone who goes against the grain, marches to the beat of their own drum, and is quite chaotic. Now that chaos may be viewed by some as immature or weird, or they might be judged for it, or like disorganized. But there's an organization to their chaos, and they're someone who's deeply in tune with their own spirit. They are someone who is really going to challenge the limitations you have about how you define yourself and how you define your worth. This is someone who is unafraid to make others uncomfortable in the pursuit of embracing all that they are. They are someone also who is likely going to go through a lot of rebirths in their life, so you might see them go through many transformations throughout your friendship, and you may even see them build incredible things and then tear them down because they don't like them anymore, because they want to do something else. This is someone whose loyalty is solely to what is true to their soul and what is true to their values and their integrity. In terms of signs, we're going to look at Astro Dice to get more signs, but Aquarius energy is here pretty heavily. Uranus rules Aquarius, or Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So even if they don't have Aquarius placements, I definitely think that they are someone who really cares about humanity, really cares about the planet, and also really cares about like the collective liberation of all beings. And they are someone who walks the walk. They genuinely care about not only supporting the people around them, but ripping down the veils and the walls that exist between ourselves and self-actualization. This is someone who is going to inspire you to be more of yourself and be more unapologetic about embracing all aspects of yourself. This is also someone who is going to love watching you step into more of yourself and really encourage you to do that. I do feel like this person will be a huge source of inspiration for you, where you'll be like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Like, you know, if they're brave enough to share this part of themselves with the world, then I know that I can. And this is also someone who is unafraid to show you where you can be more empowered. And I feel like they are also someone who is a team player. Like they are more than happy to spend an afternoon doing something that is solely for you, just because they get so much out of seeing you shine and seeing you help yourself. This is also someone who has an incredible amount of compassion. I wouldn't be shocked if, you know, they've dealt with a lot of challenging things in their life as a result of choosing to march to the beat of their own drum, as a result of wanting to honor themselves. Sinead O'Connor is coming through. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but they could have like kind of her energy or a similar vibe. I definitely think that this is someone who is a rebel, but also a lover. So like they're not someone who rebels for the sake of it. They're someone who rebels for the sake of having more love in this world, more acceptance, more kindness. This is someone who accepts all and really has a hard time connecting with people that are quite surface level or don't know themselves. They like oddballs. They like weirdos. So you're probably one of hi Jughead. I'm a weirdo. I'm weird. They're gonna like the unique aspects of you, and the more quirky, kooky, and chaotic you are, the more they're gonna be like, oh yeah, pile 2 is my vibe. I also feel like they are someone who is unafraid to tear things down in their life in order to build something new. They definitely have a genius to them that not everyone sees. And if you're like, this sounds like me, well, first of all, you have a wonderful personality, and second, it is not unrealistic to think that someone else like you out in the world exists. So don't sit here and think like, oh, she's just talking about me. Like, okay, maybe I am, then try a different pile. But even then, like, there are other people like you out in the world. You just maybe haven't met them yet. Hopefully, a lot of you guys have already met this person, because I can tell they're going to be a very powerful person in your life, and they're really going to be a catalyst for transformation for you, where it's almost like subconsciously you've needed permission to kind of step into more of yourself, or it's almost like you've needed community or connections with people that understand the transformations you're going through, or understand the process that you're going through in order to be more of yourself, and they're going to be really encouraging of that. I also think that they are someone who is unafraid to like be honest about things, but they're also going to be very, very gentle about how they come across that way. Actually, what's really interesting is that I think that, did I say in the very beginning like they're out of this world but really down to earth? I hope I did, because that is really their vibe. I think that there is a genuine just softness and kindness to them, because they have dealt with so much cruelty around who they are, or just through being themselves. And I think that they have so much love for like all innocent creatures, all innocent beings, and they also are just very passionate about certain causes that are important to them. You both might bond over that. But they are definitely someone who wants to leave the world better off than they left it. They may really like green, because there's just a lot of green everywhere. They could be very earthy or really like natural stuff. They could be a parent, or they could be like a unique kind of parent. I'm trying to see if I'm getting anything else. More than anything, though, I feel like this is someone who is not chained to societal pressure. And if anything, like, they see their lack of understanding of the real world as a massive gift, because they make moves that a lot of people who are trapped in fear or just stuck in conditioning or what is true for them, like, wouldn't even dream or wouldn't even think of doing. This is someone who is 5 steps ahead, but they don't even realize it. Like, this is someone who is just so in tune with their own inner rhythms that they don't even think to do things differently. Like, it is natural and inherent and intuitive for them to just honor the inclinations of their spirit and honor where they're being guided. And they may have a spiritual side, they may not. It doesn't really matter whether they consciously acknowledge it, but they have a really powerful connection to their own spirit. Their own spirit is very very powerful. And I wouldn't be shocked if both of you have a mutual bond over certain causes that you guys are here to help with on the planet, or if you both give each other the courage to do things together that maybe you wouldn't alone. So, like, let's talk about the core aspects of your friendship. Well, first of all, we have empowerment. So, you know, there may be times where this current or future friend may be really afraid to do something, and your presence is going to give them the confidence to go for it, or you know, do the thing that they're afraid of. But the interesting thing is I don't think they'll ever tell you that they're afraid. I feel like there's an aspect of them that really cares about being fearless. And I think that the key word besides empowerment for this friendship is synergy. Like, you guys work together so well and you can create really powerful things. And I mean, the fact that we have the alignment into a higher order of abundance, I feel like both of you could help one another with, like, prosperity consciousness, abundance consciousness. You could help one another in terms of, like, quite literally making more money, or at the very least, recognizing your worth and recognizing your value and what you deserve. I kind of want to look at, I know I have a book that has a bunch of, oh, here it is, it's over here, a bunch of numbers and their meanings in here. It's called the 1111 Oracle by one of my favorites, Alana Fairchild. So let's just see what 888 says, because 8 just seems to be a very powerful number for the both of you. Here are blessings for supreme success on all levels: material, emotional, psychological, and spiritual, and a message that the divine plan is manifesting beautifully in your life. Oh, hell yes. Oh, fuck yes. That's such a beautiful vibe. Let's see what just the number 8 says. I take complete responsibility for myself, and in doing so, I find the freedom to live as I choose. That's beautiful. So this is one of the really cool things about this friendship is there isn't, like, you guys won't be codependent on one another, but there will be this deep mutual respect for each other, because you will see each other as, like, these incredible individuals. And I think that there's gonna kind of be like a unwritten but firm code between the two of you in terms of, like, how you act, how you engage with one another, what is balanced, what is not okay. Like, the friendship itself is very balanced. Like, the level of give and take is very even. And I do think that one of the things that you both really bond over is a desire for more justice, a desire for more, you know, grace, more empowerment of those who have been disempowered. I feel like you both also will really care about being fair to the other. And if you do go into, like, work together or something like that, it will be something that won't, like, you know how there's usually that phrase, like, you know, friends and business don't mix, which I would typically agree with. I feel like you guys have a code of a really strong code that you stick to that would allow you to move through any challenges that would come with going into business together. But it may just be that you help one another individually in what you're both doing. There's a fairness in all that you do. And this is a friendship where it doesn't feel taxing. It doesn't feel, you don't have to put any effort into it. And same for them. I also feel like this is a friendship where you don't have to explain yourself. And I think that is going to be so liberating for the both of you, because you're also not going to expect this person to explain themselves. Like let's say, for example, you guys are having a sleepover and you fall asleep and you wake up and your friend is in the kitchen hanging upside down eating peanut butter with a face mask on. You're just going to be like, can I have one? Like, it's not even gonna phase you. Whereas someone else might be like, what are you doing? That's so weird. Like, what? Like, that's not gonna happen here. And I feel like this is just like a true energy of a teammate. Like, a teammate that you can trust, because trustworthiness is really powerful here. But I'm also thinking about the fact that the number 8 is really just an infinity sign on its side. And so I feel like there is just this timelessness to your friendship where, like, even if you guys were far away from one another, it's like you pick up where you left off. And I bet even when you meet each other, it will be like, have we met before? Like, that vibe will feel really familiar. You will always have time for one another. It's like you guys could be at the ends of your rope, but then being together and just like spending time or even talking, it's going to be something that like re-energizes you. And it's just like, you know, I think of it the same way as like I could eat a ton of dinner and be completely full, but the second I hear about dessert, you know I'm gonna find room in my stomach. Like, that's kind of the vibe of this friendship. Like, it doesn't matter if your plate is full, you're gonna find a way to like bring them into the fold, like make time for them. And you know, the fact that we have unique divine beauty, I think that you guys are really just going to appreciate how unique the other is. I think that's going to bring the both of you a lot of inspiration. And I feel like there's going to be healing between the two of you where you genuinely see one another and you don't feel like you have to conform or be a version of yourself that doesn't resonate with you. And I feel like it's going to be healing in the sense if you've had past friendships where or even current friendships where you have to hide who you are or hide parts of yourself in order to feel accepted. I think you're going to realize like, wow, like that I wasn't the problem in this, and like I don't deserve that. Like, you guys are going to be so on the same wavelength. Like, even when you know the other is doing something that is so out of left field, it's just like, cool, I'll ride that wave. Like, there's just a beautiful tenderness and sweetness between the two of you where it's like, I see you, I love you, I feel so good having you in my life, I want you by my side. Like, this is such a deep level of platonic love. Like, oh my goodness, I'm getting chills and like I want to cry, like, because it's just one of those things where it's like, this is the type of friendship that is so pure and just so special and something you both will cherish. And I think one thing as well is like, you won't have to worry about like jealousy or anything like that. Not that you were worried about that, but you will always be fair to each other. And any challenges that you guys do go through, like, you guys will be more concerned about the other person than yourselves in that situation. You'll be like, oh, well, I don't want to make them upset, or I don't want to. And I feel like that's going to make any conflicts you guys do have something that's really, what's the right word? The conflicts you do have are going to be really sobering and liberating, in the sense that you will realize, like, if you've had like friendships that were full of conflict in the past, you're going to be realizing like, oh, so it's not okay for a conflict so it's not okay in conflict for someone else to start calling me really mean things. Like, oh, I can work through disagreements without, you know, accepting abuse from someone else, or, you know, feeling like I'm the one in the wrong. Like, if anything, I think both of you are going to be so fair to each other. At times you might even forget about yourselves, but good thing you have the other, because you're looking out for each other. And I do feel like there's kind of this just vibe between the two of you where you guys are Kang and Kodos from The Simpsons. If Kang and Kodos were like compassionate and cared about the planet and weren't interested in eating people. Y'all will eat ego for breakfast and eat the aspects of life that people hold on to in order to feel safe and hold on to what's familiar. But like the vibe that I'm getting, if you've never seen The Simpsons, is like you guys are Kang and Kodos. It's like I don't know, it's cute. Like, well, their animations are not that cute, but you guys have the same energy. Like, you guys are out in your spaceship, like, you know, asking to see Bill Clinton. Man, that's how long ago that episode aired, that Bill Clinton was president. Damn. Ugh, early Simpsons, there's nothing like it. Okay, so now I want to get, we're gonna use the Astro dice, and we're gonna get letters and numbers to just see what else we can find out about this person, potentially give you confirmation, things like that. So, Spirit, what can you tell us about pile two's current or future bestie? Oh, one fell. And look at that, the butt planet coming out again. What else would you like pile two to know about this friend? Okay, so we have the moon. So yeah, there is a very nurturing side to them. The moon is ruled, Cancer is ruled by the moon. And I definitely think that they are someone who is very unique and quite sporadic. Wait a second. I'm missing a sign dice. Why do I have 3? Oops. Okay, well, I guess y'all are... Oh, it's over here. I didn't see it. I was like... Well, I have 3 of these. I don't know how that happened, but we also have Pluto. So transformation is a big part of their life, and I do feel like they have faced some real and intense darkness, and I think that, you know, you will witness that in their friendship. Like, they will go through periods of rebirth, and there will be times where, you know, one of you has to lean on the other and kind of be like the strong one, and that favor is always going to be returned. Like, this is a true partnership. I mean, we even have the 7th house here, and the 7th house is literally the Libra house. So this is a very close, like, you guys could be partners in some sort of way. But more than anything, there's a real loyalty to each other. And we have the 12th house, which is Pisces energy. And I do think that, you know, the 12th house is also like everything in the chart that's like hidden, projected. I've heard someone describe it as like the garbage dump of the chart. It's like everything else that doesn't fit into the other categories goes into Pisces. I feel like there's a spiritual connection between the two of you. I wouldn't be shocked if your spirits have been friends far longer than just this lifetime, and that's why there will be that familiarity. But I also think that both of you will see each other's hidden pain, and that might be something that's really powerful for the both of you, where you give each other space to kind of grieve what you didn't get to experience, grieve what couldn't happen in the past, grieve the fact that you had to live even part of your life without this person in it, and also just grieve, you know, the experiences of having to hide yourselves, of having to hide who you are, of having to hide, you know, the true uniqueness of your spirit. But I also think like 7 and 12 could be significant numbers. But in terms of signs, we also have Gemini and Virgo. Oh, and now Cancer is wanting to move over, but this was Gemini and Virgo. So they could have those placements. They certainly don't have to. Just take it as confirmation. And now let's get some letters and numbers. So, Spirit, what letters and numbers are significant to pile two's current or future friend, please? Ooh, okay, we got a lot, but that's fine. Okay. Cobb salads, like that's immediately something that I heard. I don't know. Or Cape Cod could be significant, but we have CBT or CBD. We have IE, another E. We have lots of E's, so maybe when you guys see each other, you'll go, E, I missed you. We have another T, so we have a lot of repeating letters. This just makes me think of the Twice song TT. We have an H. Lots of laughing and lots of laughter. I think you guys, even when, you know the meme of that dog that's in a burning house that's like, this is fine? I feel like that's you guys, but rather than just being like, this is fine, you guys are laughing about it. Like, you could be at your absolute worst and you guys are just joking about, like, you know, you're making, like, you cope with things through humor, and I think that's gonna be one thing that bonds the both of you. Connecticut could be significant, but I do think that you will both see each other as the shit, and you won't put up with shite from others. We also have lots of T's and E's. Ooh, E.T. Like, I definitely think there's like an extraterrestrial vibe to the both of you. Maybe the movie E.T. is significant. We have the letter Q, we have a P, an H, a U, we have an F, and an M. So all of these could be significant letters. Oh, we also have mutt, so maybe you guys have dogs, or maybe you guys are weird amalgamations of different things and you appreciate that about one another. You could also really bond over like literature or really obscure niche interests that either you both have that is like part of what cements the friendship. Like, oh my gosh, you like this, you know, early 19th century Russian poet too. Oh my God, same. Like, and or you guys have niche interests that you share with one another and they end up becoming shared interests. But in terms of numbers, we have a 2, we have a 9, or is that a 6? Yeah, wait. It's a 6 or a 9, whatever you want. I imagine you have the type of friendship where 69 jokes are welcome. Those are kinds of friendships that I approve of. We have 2 7s. We have a 0, another 0. We have a 3 and a 5. So I think that's all of it. Those are your letters and numbers. I'm gonna move these bad boys out of the way, and I'll move the Astro dice off to the side. We're gonna go ahead and get into your tarot, which I'm so excited to look at your tarot because this is the first time I'm using this deck on my channel. Okay, oops, sorry, I'm messing things up. Okay. And it's literally so cute. I got it on Etsy if you're curious. And the creator left me such a cute little note too. I live in Ohio, and she was like, I think it was she, I can't remember, but they were like they were shipping another box to California, and they joked that my deck was a little bit bummed to be going to Ohio, and I was like, yeah, I don't blame them. But anyway, if you are enjoying this reading and would like to support me in any way, thank you to everyone who leaves me a like, because that is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show support and appreciation. And if you already know who this is, maybe send it to them. I don't know, see how accurate it is, or let me know. But you don't have to do anything. I'm just grateful that you're here and grateful that you exist and that this energy of your friend exists, because it restores my faith in humanity. And I think that's actually like a core theme of the friendship, like restoring faith in humanity through empowering yourselves and refusing to accept unfair treatment, injustice, bullying, things like that. Okay, so we're gonna start by looking at how you will meet this person, and if you've already met them, just take it as confirmation. And if you've already met them and this part isn't accurate, then just take it as you already know how you met. Ooh, okay, so you could have met them as a child with this Page of Swords coming out. The pages are the youngest cards in the deck, so you could have met them while you were young or in school. You could have even met them through like parents, like your parents and their parents or something like that, kind of bringing you both together. You could have met in some sort of after school program or like a summer camp or something related to academia, school, something like that. Or if you're like, hey, so I'm out of school and I haven't met this person, I think you'll meet them online. I think you will meet them online in some sort of way. You know, pages often indicate communication. You will either meet them online through someone younger than you that is an air sign. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We've had all of those. You could meet them through, I think like one of the most likely things, if you didn't meet them as a child, if you don't already know them, if you didn't meet them when you were younger, is through some sort of academic circle, like a book club, or through something online where you both have the same interests. I wouldn't be shocked if I could see this person being the one to reach out to you, especially if you're on the shyer side. You know, this is someone who is not afraid to take risks, and they don't really take rejection personally. I think that they're going to see you as really cool, and they're just like going to want to reach out to you. But if you get a vibe of who this person is, don't be afraid to reach out to them. They're certainly someone who welcomes all and rejects none. Meeting them online as well, I wouldn't be shocked if like you guys are in the same, like I'm thinking, for example, like a Facebook group. I don't use Facebook, but if you still do, great. And like kind of seeing them post in it and being like, oh, like we've kind of got the same vibe, or they'll kind of see that you've got the same vibe. No matter what, I definitely think that how you meet will be very like, I'm seeing like real recognizes real. Like one of you is gonna get this like, oh, I need to reach out to this person. Like they're so my vibe, they're so my energy. And I feel like that is going to build the friendship. Or like I said, when you are younger, you guys met one another and the friendship just continued and you guys have grown and evolved. But I definitely think too, if you have not met this person yet and you are like wanting to, definitely pay attention to the things that you've been passionate about since you've been young, and see if you can find online spaces that cater to that, because that might be the exact way that you meet this person and that this friendship blossoms. But even neighborhood apps like Nextdoor, you know, if you're posting on there asking if someone wants to start a book club, or if you see someone posting on there about something that you're interested in, you know, that could be the gateway in. Obviously, be safe. You know, the internet is the internet, but I don't think that this person would be dangerous. But, you know, on the off chance you find someone that's not this person, you know, just maybe be cautious until you meet them and know that they're true and they're the vibe. But I definitely think like you will know that it's them because your conversations will immediately be silly and interesting and intellectually stimulating, and you'll be like, oh yeah, this person, they're my vibe. And they might understand the same memes as you, or they might have really obscure knowledge. It's like making me think of, you know, Elon Musk and Grimes got together because of an AI joke that they both had made. So like it's kind of giving me that example of like, you know, having like a niche level of knowledge about something that you and them have, that you bond over, and that like is a gateway into something more and something deeper. But now I want to see something unique to this friendship that you haven't experienced in other friendships, and same with them. So what is a unique quality that exists between pile 2 and this current or future bestie, please? Ooh, we have the 7 of Wands. Okay, I really like this. So one quality that both of you have is that you don't want to just be passive about the world. You want to get up and you want to fight. And also I think that like this beautiful thing that you both have is that you will fight for each other. Like you guys have the vibe where if someone was unkind to, like let's say someone was unkind to you, your friend would be like, if your friend was there, they would absolutely, like, they wouldn't verbally assault that person, but they would be like, that's disrespectful and not okay and really embarrassing that you did that. Like, you guys will not only stand up for one another, but you will also feel this sense of like, oh, I don't have to put up walls around you. Oh, I don't have to hide parts of myself. And oh, I can really just be myself. I also think that this friendship will give you both the courage and motivation to go after certain goals you have that you haven't felt, and that maybe, you know, you didn't have the courage to go after on your own, or maybe other people didn't see the vision the way you saw it, and so, you know, you kind of thought like, oh, maybe this project or this you know, pathway in life isn't for me, and then this person's gonna be like, no, you should do that, no, you should go for that. I also feel like you both are going to push one another to follow your goals, and I feel like this is like the antithesis of a toxic relationship, where like instead of you know, like, you know, when you hang out one another, you indulge in like the worst parts of yourselves. It's like you push and motivate one another to be better and to be more, and to not accept less than what is acceptable to the both of you. I also feel like there could be kind of an us against the world element here, where and I guess that in of itself isn't always the healthiest, but I think it's healthy in this case, because it's just this kind of like, man, we're gonna organize this protest, or we're gonna help clean out this house, you know, for our elderly neighbor. Like, I feel like you guys are both motivated by doing good in the world, and also motivated by being better than you were the day before. I feel like you guys will be a source of inspiration for one another, and I feel like you both will feel very safe in each other's presence, and almost like protected in a way where you don't feel attacked. And if someone attacked you, like, you would be there for one another, you would be defensive of the other, and you would be very caring. Like, this is someone who is not going to allow someone to disrespect you, and this is also someone who, you know, is also not going to allow you to disrespect yourself or sell yourself short or make you believe that, you know, you can't do something. They are going to fight for you as hard as you fight for them. And I also think that they are someone who is going to, I'm getting like 50 things at once, I'm so sorry, but it's all conveying the same concept. You know how there are like different people serve different purposes in our life? Like, we have casual friends that, you know, we might go do an activity with, or we might, you know, talk to casually, or we have like an interest-based thing, and then we have like those deep friendships that, you know, you feel safe to share everything with. I feel like maybe you haven't had one of those deep friendships before this person, or even like if you've known them for a very long time, it's like you haven't been able to replicate the vibe between the two of you with anyone else. Like, there is this genuinely unique quality to this friendship where it's like a puzzle piece that just fits, and there's no other puzzle piece that fits the same way. And it's like you guys feed one another's souls in a way that just makes you feel not alone on this planet. And also, like, whenever you're up against oppression or adversity or, you know, hardship, you know this person has your back in a way that gives you more strength, and vice versa. I love this energy so much, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's so beautiful, and if you haven't met this person yet, I can't wait for you to meet them, because they are going to be such a wonderful addition to your life. So now I want to see one thing that this friend loves about you or will love about you. So pile 2's current or future bestie. What is one thing that you love about pile 2 that you would like to share with them? Yes, we have the Tower. Okay, this is beautiful. So obviously when people see the Tower, they usually are afraid, and there's no reason to be afraid of this. Like, the thing that they love about you is that, number one, you do not question their chaos, and number two, you have chaos of your own. And there is this real ride or die element to the relationship where, you know, if their tower's burning, you're gonna jump out with them. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm not gonna come to your tower because it looks shaky. Like, you're gonna climb that tower with them, and then be like, you know what? If we get blown off, we get blown off. I think one thing that they love about you as well is how you've handled the trials and tribulations of your life. Like, how we experience trauma and hardship, you know, shapes all of us differently. And I think that they are really going to not love that you experience those things, but love how those experiences didn't taint your true spirit. And now I'm hearing an inappropriate joke about taints in my head. So I do think that you and this friend will have lots of wild jokes with one another. I also feel like if you have a lot of Mars energy, like Aries or Scorpio, they're really gonna love like that powerful energy. You know, I think a lot like Aries and Aquarius are such a vibe together because it's like air and fire. I think they can really feed off of one another in powerful ways. So they could just really love like the synergy and dynamics between the two of you. But I also think one thing that they love about you is that you either don't take life too seriously or you help them not take life too seriously. And maybe you both can kind of understand the other's struggles. So one thing that they may love is that, you know, they don't have to explain themselves when it comes to, you know, their past or the things that they've dealt with. And they love that they can just, you know, be open with that. Like there is no element of trauma dumping between the two of you. Like, you know, you guys can literally joke about, you know, the stuff that you've gone through in your past, and it doesn't feel invalidating. It doesn't feel like you're making a mockery. It's just one of those things where you share this bond over laughing through challenge. I also feel like with the Tower being here, they love that you have the same eccentricities, same chaos, and same ability to like tear down things that don't work or to surrender when things are torn down on their own. I feel like they also are kind of shocked at how little dramatics there is with you. Like there might be a more like jokey aspect of being dramatic with the other, but it's not like a genuine like catastrophizing. And I think that one thing that they will love is like your strength and how like even in the most dire of circumstances, it's like you're still making a joke. You're still like, yeah, but how are you? Like, how are you doing? You know, there's a real part of you that is just so powerful and you don't see it. And maybe too, you could have the experience of people just having a disproportionate reaction to you just like being yourself or just, you know, making a statement or seeing things a certain way. But what you may not realize is like that perception you're having or that statement you're making is challenging the very foundation of that other person. And you may have really taken their responses personally as like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, or oh, I messed up. And this friend's gonna be like, no, actually, you're challenging systems and challenging them, and that's badass, and that's one of the things I love about you most. I think that they're really going to love that this is a true ride or die friendship. Like if you're in the trenches, they're in the trenches. If you're celebrating, they're celebrating. If one of you is in the trenches and the other is celebrating, you're gonna come into the trenches together and you're gonna celebrate together. Like this is a real, this is like hurricane meets tornado, and then you guys just make one giant ball of extra chaos. And you know, people might see your friendship as destructive. It is destructive in the sense that it's destructive to outside systems and ideas that don't have room for growth, that don't have room for who the both of you are. And I think that they're going to love that you're just a true ride or die. And they will love like your power energy, you know? Whatever your Mars is, you may want to pay attention to that, because whatever Mars energy you have, they may love that expression, how you express your Mars. But I think the thing they will love most about you is your power and how you use your power for what you deem as good, for what you deem as true, for what you deem as just, and the fact that, you know, you also empower them to do the same, and like, you know, you are the helping hand for one another when you need help. You are the battering ram for the other when you're stuck in illusions around your worth or what you're capable of. Like there's just a very beautiful divine vibe to the two of you where chaos meets chaos in a way where you're like, oh, there's actually nothing wrong with us, and in fact just a lot of people have bad taste and that sucks for them. And I love that. It's so beautiful. Okay, so now I want to get a message from this person, and if you know them, it'll be a message from their human self. If you don't know them, it'll be a message from their higher self to you to see. So we'll just see what they want you to know right now. So the human or higher self of pile 2. What would you like pile 2 to know at this time? What message do you have for them? Okay, we have 2. We have the 3 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. The biggest vibe that I'm getting is don't give up and don't lose your spark. You may be in a situation right now. Oh, and on the back of the deck is the 6 of Cups. Like, just know that this meeting, like, if you haven't met them yet, you will meet. And if you haven't seen them in a while, like, you will reconnect. Don't let people sleep on you. And don't let people sleeping on you be an indicator that there's something wrong with you or that you're not enough. With this Page of Wands and this 3 of Pentacles, this is a real encouragement for you to be even more unapologetic about the things you want to explore and the ways in which you want to show up into the world. If you're working on something that, if you're working in a creative career, for example, this person is really encouraging you to speak up more and share more of your ideas, whether people get them or not, because you really have something to offer and something to share. And I feel like if you're in a position right now where you're feeling unappreciated, unvalued, and your passion is not allowed to exist in this environment, I feel like there's encouragement for you to maybe see what you can do about that. You know, is there a department you can switch to? Maybe is it time to explore different things? Is it time to try different things? I really think, and if also too, you're in a situation where you're stuck in some sort of career and you can't make a change right now, they're really encouraging you to do the things that make you happy when you do have downtime. You know, it might be easier to scroll on your phone, but if you're genuinely passionate about water skiing squirrels, you got to make time for it. It's important. I feel like also they're really just encouraging you to not let go of your spirit and your inner fire. And when you feel that dying, know that that's a sign to switch it up. They love your spirit, and they also just want you to know, like, if you have people in your life, like coworkers or classmates or, you know, people that are in like a cohort of some type that you work with that are, you know, just not being fair to you or not really seeing you, or you're lacking the confidence to kind of share your ideas, they're really encouraging you to step up, because I think you may not realize it, but your perspective could actually be really helpful. And if you haven't shared these parts of yourself, you might be surprised at how welcomed they are. Your ideas are much more powerful than you realize. And they also want you to know, like, sometimes you do need to ask for help. And if you are trying to do everything on your own right now, it may be stifling your creative spirit and stifling your passion for life. And so I think that they're really encouraging you to not let go of that and to reconnect with that. And you might be like, well, how? There are so many different ways, and you may not be able to immediately, but it starts by just following the inner nudges. You know, if you're nudged to watch an old movie, or if you're nudged to, you know, go to a playground that you used to and just hang out on the monkey bars and see how you feel. Like, if you're encouraged to try something completely new, even that is important. Like, you know, if you were the type of kid who really enjoyed new experiences and new opportunities, that could be really important. But a specific message, this is not going to be for all of you, but if you've known this person since childhood and you are currently in a job that is just degrading your spirit and is really, you know, making you lose yourself, I feel like this friend wants you to know that they can see that, and the fact that they don't like it, and that they are seeing a loss of your passion, your innocence, your creativity, and a real disconnection from what makes you you. And I feel like they're kind of coming in to remind you who the fuck you are, and just how fun and zany and exciting you are. Characters that give me Page of Wands: Bart Simpson, Pippi Longstocking, Pippi Langstrom if you want to be super accurate, Annie. Singing might be something you want to do. You know, anything that just gets you connected to your spirit, I think, is really important right now, because whether you have to move through a challenging time at work, whether you've got to start, you know, being open to the idea that there might be something more out there, or whether you have to start sharing your voice more and standing up for yourself, this friend is coming through to remind you that part of your power is in honoring your true self, and the truest version of you is that inner child, you know, that part of you that wasn't afflicted by conditioning, that part of you that was just endlessly creative and spunky and goofy and fun, that is that part of you. And I think Pippi Longstocking in general, whether you read the books or watch the series, there's also like an 80s movie. It's got some banger songs in it. Like, that vibe I think could be very powerful for you and just like help remind you like there is magic in the world, and like the magic that you have lies in your true spirit, lies in the truth of who you are. And when you feel that part of you dying, know that that is not aligned with you. And that is something where, you know, if that's happening, you're not truly living, you're not honoring yourself, and you're disempowering yourself. And I'm getting this Edna Mode vibe right now, like where she's like face slapping Helen and she's like, get yourself together. Like, it's kind of that, but from a place of love, and like, I love you. Don't sell yourself short, and don't ever let the world do that. Especially if they haven't met you yet, because they're like, I'm not here to remind you how powerful and special you are, so you better start doing it on your own until I can get there. Yeah, this is a loving warning to not deny your spirit. But we're gonna go ahead now and finish this reading off with a little book divination. We'll see how accurate it is. Pile 1s was really interesting, so I'm just gonna kind of like do this and close my eyes, and then we'll see what comes through. So Spirit, what message does pile 2 need to see at this time? Okay, nothing. Practices for connecting. We'll just look at the next page. Practices to help us reunify the body and mind and get back in touch with life in the present moment. So that could be something you may want to practice doing, is connecting, which we were just talking about that. So let's look at this one. Coming home to the body. It's good to have a practice of sitting meditation, even if it's just 10 minutes in bed or in the morning before the beginning of the day. You can also practice sitting meditation on the bus, in the car, while waiting at a red light, at the airport, and at work before a meeting or during a break. Maintaining regular practice is the way to establish and maintain connection with our body, feelings, and mind. This brings us peace and clarity. When you sit down, make sure you are in a comfortable position with your back straight but not rigid, eyes closed or half opened, jaw relaxed, and shoulders relaxed. A half smile on our lips helps us relax all the muscles in the face and gives rise to a feeling of peace and joy. We start by bringing our awareness to our breathing and following it, noticing the gentle rising and falling of our abdomen. We relax the whole body and release all the tension. It is very simple and enjoyable. Meditation is not hard labor. You can repeat these phrases silently as you sit, or you can lie on the ground and practice deep relaxation of the body, going through each part of releasing tension, generating a feeling of well-being. I breathe in and follow my in-breath the whole way through from beginning to end. I breathe out and follow my out-breath the whole way through from the beginning to end. Aware of the gentle movement of air going into my body, I breathe in. Releasing any tension I may be holding in my body, I breathe out. In touch with my shoulders and abdomen, I breathe in. Relaxing my shoulders and abdomen, I breathe out. Aware of the state of my body, I breathe in. Feeling grateful to my body, I breathe out. I breathe in and dwell peacefully in the present moment. I breathe out and know this is a wonderful moment. That's beautiful. I'm gonna hold this up so y'all can screenshot that if you would like to. But one thing I like to do when I'm laying down and meditating is like picturing or like sensing my body become super heavy and feel myself like melting into the ground or into the bed that I'm in. But that could be a useful practice for you. But pile 2, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. So thank you guys so much for watching and for letting my ads play in the background, because that is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show appreciation for my channel and for what I do. So thank you to everyone who does that. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, you can check out my social media, you can check out my fat juicy ass, you can check out, I'm just kidding, no you can't. You can check out my other videos, ones with extendeds. And yeah, you can like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to my notification squad. If you turn notifications on, I'm most likely to see your comments. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Aura-Coded Clear Quartz Tower and the Spirit Song Tarot, this is going to be your reading on a current or future best friend coming into your life. So if you want a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro, but we're going to start by looking at who this is and the core aspects of this friendship. Sorry, I'm brewing. I shouldn't have drank kombucha before this. Okay, anyway, you guys actually got extra cards, so bear with me. But we have Knight, Loyalty, Romance, and Chivalry, a love of honor. And we have Prince, Romantic charm and potential for power. Good night, my sweet prince. We also have the 7th house with relating, partners, companionship, best friends, marriage, relationship, opposition, equilibrium, sharing, communion, justice, balance, social awareness. Love that best friends. It's already in there. And we have Fehu. And then in terms of the core aspects of this friendship, we have appreciating my soul progress creates confidence and excitement to embrace new challenges and expand my spiritual horizons. We have the Hanged Man. And we have Scorpio, transformative, intense, passionate, secretive, carnal, thorough, obsessive, intimate, primal, lusty, deep, eternal, resourceful, mysterious, regenerative, compulsive, destructive, manipulative, and Mars with desire, impulses, courage, force, heat, strength, competition, workouts, excitement, thirst, impatience, anger, leadership, engine, potency, willpower, motor, sex drive. Let me make sure everything is in the frame. Okay, so Pile 3, I am not gonna lie. If you don't like what I am saying in this reading, or if it doesn't sound like your vibe, please try one of the other 2 piles, because I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. For some of you, this might be a friendship where y'all are more than friends, and it is taken, you might start as friends and become something more. However, you can still just be friends with this person. So I'm going to interpret both. But no matter what, this is a very powerful friendship that I guess I'm gonna say relationship, not in the sense of a romantic relationship, but like just a friendship with someone is a relationship. And I've been saying friendship, but friendship feels too tame for what this is. Let's start with who this person is. The fact that we have Knight and Prince, I do feel like this person has a traditional old school idea of life. Not in all senses, but in terms of like when it comes to their relationships, there is a level of honor. And also, this is someone who is quite powerful, quite in demand. A lot of people desire them. They are also someone who is a natural born leader. They are someone who is really good with people. They are likely someone who is well off or going to be someday. They are highly productive, very creative, and have a lot of potential for creativity in life. One vibe that I'm getting from them is like the same vibe. They have Howl's vibe from Howl's Moving Castle. They are someone whose reputation might precede them. They are also someone who a lot of people want, but not a lot of people get. I really feel like this is someone who is an equal in all ways, and that is why they are such a match for you in the sense of whatever your relationship ends up being. I definitely feel like this is someone who enjoys the finer things in life, really does want to be a leader, and will likely take on positions of power in the world. In terms of your friendship, this is a friendship reading, so I'm going to focus on friendship. But there could be romance or something more between you and this person in the future, or it could lead into that, especially if you don't know them. That is the irony, you know? You tell me to do a friendship reading and Spirit's still like, you think you're gonna get away from this? Stop tearing down my girl for just doing her thing. Yeah, stop tearing me down for just doing my thing. I'm not saying you are, but, you know, some people don't know just how to just move on when something isn't for them. And if this reading is not for you, do one of the other piles. They're vastly different. But this is intense. This is someone that you have a deep bond with, and someone that like you have complete loyalty to. They are going to be completely loyal to you, you to them. And they are someone who prides themselves in doing right by others. They're also someone who is easy to meet, but hard to truly know. They are someone who is coveted by a lot of people, and someone whose time and energy they really value, and a lot of people want theirs. They are also someone who doesn't just let anyone into their life. They know that if they, open themselves up to anyone, friends, romantic partners, whatever it may be, they have a capacity to give of a lot of themselves. And I do think that this person has had people take advantage of that in the past. I also think that this is someone who really enjoys and appreciates people who are different, but also people who are on the same level as them in terms of power. And by power, I don't mean like the standard idea of what power is, like, power because it is given to you through a company, or power because you are in a position, in an external position. I'm not talking about that kind of power. I'm talking about inner power. The power to know your worth, see your value, the power to reject that which is not for you, the power to forge your own way in life, the power to create what you want to see in the world. This is definitely someone who can be a bit arrogant at times, but I do think that it's kind of earned. Like, they are someone who is built different, and I bet you could relate to being the same. There are not many people that can match this person's energy and match their power, and you and them are definitely a power couple. And I'm not saying that in a romantic sense. It could be, if there is a romance, absolutely, but I think even as a friendship, this is a power friendship. I feel like I'm trying to think of like an example of two like really powerful friends but I'm having a hard time coming up with anything. But this is someone who is not really into like fickle or surface level type friendships. They are someone who is very generous and abundant, and they like to share that with the right types of people that also nourish them. And they're also someone who is very serious about honoring and caring for and protecting those that they do trust in their life. Like I said, they are someone who has very traditional values in some sort of way. I do think they come in with like relating. Like, this is the type of person who is going to stick something out even when things get challenging, because they have a deep, deep loyalty, not only to their heart, but to those that make a difference in their life. And the interesting thing is I'm not getting a lot about them personally. And I think it's because for those of you that pick this group, the attributes that they actually have may be vastly different and unique depending on your situation. But just know the core themes of this person. They are an excellent communicator. They are someone who's really good at connecting to others. And that doesn't mean they're extroverted. They're just good at communicating. They could be extroverted, absolutely. But also, I think it's kind of like they're the type of person when they walk in a room, all eyes kind of are on them, whether they're asking for it or not. They just naturally have this pull and this energy to them that, makes those that are drawn to power draw closer to them, and those that are repulsed by power be envious of them or act negatively or unfairly to them. They are someone who really likes to push limits in life and see how far they can go, how much they can do. And they don't just want anyone by their side. They want real friends, real loyalty, real people that also have their own sense of self, that have their own life. They're not interested in people that are like yes men, or people that, and truthfully, they may not really even respect people that, rely on them for a feeling of power, or that want to serve them in some way. They don't see those people as equals or as friends. They see those people as acquaintances or people that they would hire, or people that they would recruit for a goal that they had, but they would never consider them a close friend. And even then, they would be suspicious of those that are drawn to them solely for that power and that don't really have the same, because there's a vibe from this person that it's like, well, this isn't balanced. They do like genuine balance, and I think that's one thing they're going to love about you, is the fact that you are a powerful person. You have your own sense of self. You have your own goals that you're going after. And if what I'm talking about sounds like you, then I would say, yeah, you've met your match. I'm not saying that this is you, but it's not crazy to think that there are other people like you in the world. And I do think that you guys are kind of the equivalent of the Spider-Man meme, where it's two Spider-Mans pointing at each other. Like, you're both heroes. You're both powerful. You both give a lot to the world, and you both are carrying a heavier load, I think, than that's what she said. You both are carrying a lot in this life, and you both have an underlying intensity and power that not everyone has. And this can't be given to you. This can't be bestowed upon you. It has to be generated organically. And that's why I think this one thing about this person and your friendship with them will be so powerful, is like, you'll be like, finally, like, you know, someone who actually understands what it's like to carry this, someone who actually understands what it's like to have this sense of power, and also to hold yourself to your own form of integrity and not let others, you know, distort that sense of truth, distort that sense of what's true for you, or you know, convince you of what they want to believe or what they want you to believe. Neither of you are easily swayed, and neither of you are easily neither of you let people in very easily. But those you do let in, it's because they've gone through an extensive internal vetting process, and you're like, okay, yeah, this person is the vibe. But I think that there are a lot of people, and maybe for you, you've had to get better at being discerning around that, because I think one thing that you and this person will bond over is having friendships, not because of what they can bring to you, or not because of the reciprocal nature of it, but because you pity the person. And it's those relationships where you are bitten in the ass the most. And I think that that is something you both are going to bond over. And these are two winners in a world of losers. And I say that not to be like, yeah, a bunch of people in this world are losers, but winning and losing is an attitude. And there are a lot of people with a loser attitude, and neither of you do have that. And if you are offended by me saying that, you might need to change your attitude, my dude, because everybody here is a winner, in the sense that winners cheer on other winners. Winners want the best for people. Winners see the good in life, see the good in others, and also see the good in themselves. You know, losers, they don't believe in themselves. They're usually, you know, unkind to others, disempowering to others, don't like to see others succeed. You know, the type of misery that loves company, the type of person that, I don't need to go. You either, you get it. If you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. And the reason I feel comfortable saying that is because being either is a choice, and you can choose differently. And I think maybe both of you resonate. Like, you had kind of a loser mentality at one point in life, and that's how you gained power. You decided, no, I'm not going to settle for this. I'm not going to accept this level of consciousness. I'm not going to accept this mindset. And I feel like both of you relate to pulling yourselves out of deep, dark holes and growing stronger from it, and becoming the type of person that you could have never conceived of. But now you realize, like, wow, I can go far in life, and wow, not everyone is built like me. And that's okay. Like, we're not judging anyone for how they choose to view the world, but we are discerning of who we accept into our circle, who we accept into our life, because people with problematic mentalities can be far more destructive than we realize. You know, we can't change people, and a lot of times, you know, those are the types of relationships that end up backfiring. And I think that's something you both would relate to. You guys will understand each other on a deep level, and I would imagine that there is just a closeness to you that's like, you don't even have to speak to each other you can communicate with a look. So let's talk about the core components of this friendship, or if it's something deeper. This is deeply transformative. I feel like you and this person are going to be in each other's lives for a very long time. And appreciating my soul progress, I feel like you both will have done a level of development before you even meet one another, but meeting one another is going to be a catalyst that creates more confidence, more excitement and passion for life, and it's going to create challenges and expand your spiritual horizons, like it says. And I don't think a lot of these challenges are with each other. I think these are challenges that you have internally that are stopping you from stepping into a more expansive version of yourself. But I do think as well, depending on how close you are and how combative both of your natures are, you could have quite passionate and heated arguments. Now, the thing is here, is there is a difference between fighting for the sake of it and fighting for what you believe in. And I think that is the case. Like, you both might have diverging opinions and viewpoints about things, and you might have very passionate arguments and discussions. But the thing that's very important to know and understand is that there is a deep loyalty here. And that is only going to happen from a baseline of love and understanding, and of like, and if you're hearing that and you're like, no, I can't handle that, I can't do that, babe, this is not your pile, please go to a different one. I love you, but don't hold on to a message that isn't yours. And nobody is going to force you to be friends with someone. Like, okay? All right. But for my people that are still here, let's keep going. There is a deep and intense bond between the two of you, where you both are going to grow and evolve a lot. And also, you're going to challenge each other. And it may not be like overtly. It may be like, you know, a subconscious belief that you have. This person disproves that belief through their own actions, just doing their own thing. And you're like, wow, like, I didn't think that was accessible to me, or I didn't think that was possible, but they just did it, so I must be able to do it. I feel like both of you might have a competitive nature with each other. Like, you inspire each other to be better and do more. You're both leaders, you're both powerhouses, and you're also deeply, deeply connected, where that loyalty, like, you know how when you're family with someone, you feel more comfortable showing those parts of yourself that maybe you wouldn't show someone else? There's that. Like, you can be your messiest selves with each other. You can be your messiest selves with each other, and there is no judgment there. You may challenge one another and be like, okay, is this mess because of circumstances outside of you, or is maybe XYZ thing leading to this mess repeating? Like, especially if there's some sort of cycle or pattern either of you have where you keep getting yourself stuck in the same situation, like, this person is going to point out, and vice versa, you will too. You'll be like, well, don't you think that Z is happening because you keep doing X and Y and saying you want to do something differently and then doing the same thing? Like, you are going to challenge each other, but that is going to be part of the glue that brings you together, because there is truth when you are together, whether the truth is uncomfortable, whether it's beautiful, whether it's passionate, whether it's disturbing. And I don't think the truth, like a disturbing truth, would be like a disturbing thing that you do to the other, but rather a disturbing truth about a way you've been living your life, or a belief system you've had about yourself, or a reality that exists in the world. And I also think there are going to be times where both of you really help each other see things differently. I mean, the fact that we have the Hanged Man here, I do think there's a deeply spiritual element to this friendship, where you help each other see things in a different light. But there's also this recognition that, like, you can't convince the other to do anything. Y'all are going to do what you're going to do. And you just kind of have to lovingly support. You can share your thoughts. Like, for example, you know, this is making me thinking of bungee jumping. Like, you know, this person might be like, I'm gonna go to Guatemala and bungee jump. And you might be like, well, I'm really afraid of you bungee jumping, because, like, what if something happens? And they're gonna be like, well, if something happens, it happens, but I want to go bungee jumping. And you're gonna be like, all right, well, I don't have the power to change your mind, but I can at least go and cheer you on, and we can go have a vacation, or we can go do this. Shout out to Guatemala. But also, like, I feel like you inspire each other to do more. And here's the thing too, you might not be in a romantic committed relationship, but you might still have benefits to this friendship. Like, there is power here, and attractive power. And I think that what's really cool is, like, there's you and there's them, and there's this container of whatever your relationship is. Friendship, relationship. I know you know what I mean, but I'm just specifying to be sure. Where you discover new things about yourselves, you discover new things about each other, and this relationship helps you both look at the world in different ways. I also think that you give each other the courage and the confidence to go after things that you wouldn't normally try, or you wouldn't normally shoot your shot for. And I also just think that this is going to be one of the most powerful relationships you have in this lifetime. Like, it is going to be one that really shows you who you are and who you're not. And I think that there is equal amounts of camaraderie, competition, not in an unhealthy way, but in a like let's say you guys are like to go running together. Like, you might low-key race, sometimes, or you might get really passionate during board games and keep score of who's won more, who hasn't. Like, and I think that's part of what keeps it interesting. And also, like, you guys keep each other on your toes, that's for sure. And it's never boring between the two of you. I definitely think as well, there's just this exciting, passionate nature where both of you inspire the other to grab life by the cojones and take a bite out of it. There's a part of it too where you make each other wild. Like, you give each other the freedom to be more wild, to be more of your natural self and less of like the socialized acceptable version of yourself. Like, for example, with this person having so many like traditional components to them, I feel like your influence will really help them kind of see the fallacies and maybe some of the ideas that they have, and that might be a tense discussion or an argument at some point. But see, here's the thing, if you're the type of person that likes arguing, like this will be your vibe. And if you're someone who doesn't like arguing, but this still sounds like something you'd like, then you might have a very like, it may not even be a heated debate, but just like you're keeping calm, cool, and collected, but it's like, all right, we're debating, and I'm really going to challenge you right now and see, do you really think that this is the truth? Why? Like, there is a lot of freedom here that comes through facing life as it is, facing yourselves as you are, and facing how you've done things with authenticity and honesty. There's a real authenticity here between the two of you where, like, you're not hiding from the other, and it doesn't matter if you tried to, because you couldn't. You see right through each other, and like, you see the truth. Like, neither of you could ever put on a mask or pretend to be something that you're not with the other. You would see through it immediately. If one of you is struggling, you're going to pick up on it immediately. It's not going to be something that's able to be hidden. I mean, like, the level of being in tune with one another is going to be so deep that, like, you might even notice that things are off when your person doesn't even know it, and vice versa. Like, you might pick up on something they're dealing with before they do. So I think that this will be really powerful, and one where, you can't control the energy that exists between the two of you. You can only interact with it and engage with it with what's in your heart and with what's in your truth. I mean, there's a lot of love here, period. Like, you guys will love each other so, so, so much. Whether this is romantic or platonic, whatever the case may be, this is a very liberating connection, and one where you never get bored with each other. You never like doubt or question the other's loyalty. There's a deep level of trust and a lot of respect between the two of you. I also think the two of you, I kind of love this. The two of you will really enjoy comparing your energies, like the energy that exists between the two of you, to other people's, and you guys will be like, they're not as powerful as us, or they're not as cool as us, or they're not as in tune as us, like whether it's friends or other couples or whatever it may be. And that'll be something that bonds you too. I definitely think that there's a beautiful energy here where you've met your match in each other, and this is the type of relationship that doesn't burn out, because it's literally the sun. Like, the sun has to die in order for this to end. Like, you both just have this very powerful friendship or connection with each other that transcends maybe what a lot of friendships or even like romantic relationships are comprised of. And I think that your bond will be like iron, like nothing can break it. And that's going to give the both of you a lot of freedom to be your true selves, and to face challenges, and to face uncertainties, and face yourselves in the most truest and honest way, and to show each other, the darkest parts of your heart, the darkest parts of yourselves. And rather than be rejected or shamed or ridiculed, be shown from a place of love how that doesn't have to rule you, how it might be ruling you, and how you can gain power from it and not let it disempower you. Like, this is a truly beneficial situation where both of you want the best for each other and come from a place of love. And part of that means not shying away from difficult conversations, not shying away from facing those parts of ourselves that scare us, those parts of ourselves we're afraid will be rejected. Like, this is not someone that's going to do that. This is someone who is going to be your biggest cheerleader and you theirs, but also like a healthy sense of like, you make the other want to be better, and you will enjoy and have fun pushing your own limits and seeing like how much you can do, how far you can go. And then there will be times where things are just softer and you just hang out and just enjoy what's happening between the two of you. But the wheel keeps turning, and I'm literally hearing like wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Like, there's going to be a lot of phases, a lot of cycles, and a lot of evolutions between the two of you. But the core truth that you're always going to come back to is, this person makes me the best version of myself, and I love them so fiercely. That is going to be the case for the both of you. And like, no one is going to be able to get in the way of this bond except for the two of you. And I don't see that happening. I mean, you could, but I don't think you will. So, okay, we're gonna get more, insight as to who this person is. This is definitely the most general of the reading so far. Like, there's less specific energies, just because, like I said earlier, it seems like, the intricacies of who this person is, like, might be different for all of you, but like the core themes are power, joy. Like, joy is a big part of this too, like creation and a willingness to go after what you want in life, and to be unapologetic about what you want, about who you want to share your life with, and unapologetic about what you don't want and who you don't want around and what you don't want. Deep love, deep respect here. So, Spirit, what else can you tell us about pile three's current or future best friend, please? Okay, so we have is this the south node or the north? I can't tell if this is supposed to be the south node or the north node. What does the south node look like? Oh, that's the north node. Okay, I maybe got the south node wrong here. I genuinely cannot tell. Wait. Okay, no, this is the south node. This is a north node, I think. I could be wrong. Anyway, we've got the north node. We've got the sun. We've got the third house. Oh, we've got 2 3s. So there's master number third house for both of those. We've got Pisces and we've got Virgo. So number one, I want to start with these 2 3s. I definitely think that the communication between the two of you will be like no other. Like, you will have such a rapport with one another. And I also think you're going to be constantly learning with each other. Siblings could be a significant aspect of this, or you might bicker like siblings, or maybe you even are siblings. I don't know. But there's definitely an element here where also, like, taking it out of astrology, like the number 33 is a master number. And since I already have the book over here, if you're interested in this book, it just has a bunch of numbers and affirmations for them. Let's just see what 33 says. So I'm kind of curious. Naturally, I always turn to like the page it's not on. I choose to devote myself to my heart's highest purpose. That is a core theme for the both of you. You both choose to devote yourself to your heart's highest purpose. And a lot of times what your heart's highest purpose is, you may not know. You may just be guided in a general direction. You may just be honoring what is there. I feel like both of you will really support that, and you're on the same wavelength around that. And maybe that is something that will bond the both of you, that both of you have. Neither of you, even if you've experienced apathy, even if you've experienced, like, you know, difficult things like mental health states like depression, or just literally like being completely dissociated and detached from life, you take that and use that as a reason why it is so important that you honor your heart and not beat yourself up if you do get into that state, but also remember like how many people are dealing with that, and how you have the power to help others in that way. You have the power to do whatever the universe put you on this planet for. I feel like both of you have a higher purpose to that, and you support each other through that process. I also feel like you are teaching and helping each other master lessons that the other has mastered. And also you'll be mastering lessons together that you kind of need the other for. We also have Pisces and Virgo energy. So I definitely think that you both are highly analytical. And like I said, you'll have a deep, the Hanged Man is ruled by Pisces. So you'll have like a really deep intuitive connection. And I think one thing you both will really enjoy is how acute both of your discernments are and the ways you see the world. Like, I feel like that's going to be very interesting. But we also have the North Node here. So I definitely think that you're taking one another to your destiny. Like, this person is a part of your destiny in some way. This is a very powerful friend no matter what. And it could be as well that their North Node could be in Virgo or Pisces. Their North Node could be the opposite of your South Node. I talked about this in another group, but sometimes when you have someone who has the opposite North and South Node as you, you can help one another because you've already mastered the past energy that the other is trying to learn. So for example, I'm a Virgo North Node with a Pisces South Node. So if I'm friends with someone who is a Virgo North Node or a Pisces North Node and a Virgo South Node, we're really going to help one another because I can help them lean into Pisces energy and they can help me lean into Virgo energy. Does that make sense? Some of you are probably like, nope, but we're here anyway. Appreciate you. We also have the sun here. So Leo energy could be significant. And literally I said this relationship, this person is like the sun. Like it gives you life, and you will be the same. Like, you will give them life. It is like the difference between a candle and the sun. Like, if a regular friendship is a candle, like, they are the sun in the sense that like it is a source of life for you, and vice versa. But also ego might get in the way of this connection. There will be times where you both might be in your egos and challenge one another, and challenge yourselves. And I think that's very powerful. But I also think that there's a lot of light in this person, a lot of light in your connection with each other. And I definitely think you both are taking each other to your destinies. And, you know, having Virgo and Pisces here, like, those are oppositions, which all North and South nodes are oppositions. But I definitely think the ways in which you are opposites will really work. And there may be very contradictory aspects of both of your natures that you both kind of work through and learn how to balance with each other. But I think the biggest thing is like, there is no judgment here of each other. There's definitely judgment of yourselves at times, but I think you both are going to challenge that as well. And I think that any challenges you do go through are just going to bring you closer together. And a lot of the challenges you go through are really going to be internal ones that you are a source of support for each other with. And I think also there's going to be this kind of thing too, where like, let's say for example, you're going through something internally. This person might be able to tell that you're going through something, but rather than saving you from it, they'll be like, nah, pile three can handle, pile three can handle this. You know, if they really need my help, they'll come to me and they'll talk to me about it, but I'm going to let them work through this. And if they need me, I'm here, but I'm not going to bring it up to them. I'm not going to say anything about it, and we'll just see what happens. It's like you guys love each other enough to let you grow through things rather than, you know, hold your hand when hold handing isn't necessary. You know what I'm saying? It's like a parent that knows that their kid, you know, is struggling with something. Like, let's say for example, like this is just an example. Like, let's say like a parent seeing their kid struggle to tie their shoes. You know, the parent could go and tie their shoes, but they know that the kid will figure it out if they have, you know, enough time and enough patience, and if they stick with it. And so it's almost like they're going to let you tie your shoes even if it takes longer and it's more challenging, because that's how you learn. And you both love one another enough to go through things that you have to learn, and without trying to fix the problem or fix the situation or do it for them. You know, you just stand by one another through that process. And, you know, and it might be this thing where you guys have conversations sometimes where like, you're like, you know, like let's say you move through something and you're like, you know, I was really struggling with this thing. And they'll be like, yeah, I know, I could tell. And you'll be like, you can tell, like, why didn't you say anything? And they'd be like, because it's not my business. And I knew you had it covered. If you really had a problem, you would have come to me. And it's like, oh. And that, I think, will also bring a lot of comfort to you, because it's like, wow, this person sees me and sees me so truly, even when I don't realize it. And like, I think that there is just this level of truth between the two of you where you cannot hide, you cannot distort, you cannot manipulate what you are. And that's what makes this so much more potent and so much more powerful. Like, you have to be your true selves, and you have to come as you are. And I think that leads to a deeper level of love between the two of you, and that just cements your bond, because you're like, what could be truer? This is true friendship. This is true. I feel like this is a step beyond friendship. Like, this is like your soulmates, whether romantic, platonic, whatever it may be. Like, this is someone that you are bonded to at a soul level. So just for some extra confirmation too, now we're gonna get some letters and numbers. So, Spirit, what letters and numbers are relevant to pile 3 and their connection with this person, please? Okay, so we have the letter M, W, we have N. Northwest could be significant. I meant the direction, not the famous child, but the famous child too. We have an I, we have a P. The song Colors of the Wind might be significant. We have a U, Minnesota, I'm seeing that. We have a T, Montana. Or mountains. Oh, the Ain't No Mountain High Enough, that song. That could be significant. MC, music could be significant. Or CM. Country music, television, I don't know. We have a B. Bonnaroo could also be significant. The music festival. Did we already do that N? So we have 2 N's. Oh, no, just 1 N. Sorry, I just got confused. And we have an E. I'm seeing the word mine. Oh, and a D. So CMTWNEIPDB. And then in terms of numbers, we have 2 2s, 22. So that could be significant. Once again, you have like matching numbers. and we also have a 7, and we have a 4. So those are the letters and numbers, but we're gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna move these out of the way, and I'm just gonna leave these guys here. I know that they're already moving though. Right. Get over here. Okay, so let's move these out of the way. And now we will get into your tarot. So, we're gonna start by looking at how you will meet this person or how you did meet this person, depending on whether you know them or not. And while I'm shuffling, if you're enjoying this reading and you would like to, feel free to leave me a little like. Thank you to everyone who does. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me and help other people see this reading, if it could benefit them. So thank you to everyone who does that. But I'm just grateful you're here. I'm grateful that you're letting me read for you. So, Spirit, how will pile 3 and this person meet, please? Ooh, okay. We have the wheel. Well, this is the Wheel of Fortune. So we have change and possibilities. So how you will meet, this is frustrating because if you don't know this person yet, you can't control how this happens. It's very like fated, destined. For example, even if you wanted to avoid this person, like you couldn't. Like there's a magnetic energy between the two of you where like you're going to find one another. You could meet them after going through a very intense life change. Wheel in the Sky keeps on turning, I'm telling you. That song's significant. Maybe that song will be playing or a song that repeats a lot will be playing when you meet, or October could be significant because we have the number 10 here. And with Scorpio season, that would be November. But anyway, there's a lot of different ways you can meet this person. And I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's based on the decisions both of you make, how you come together. But there's a lot of potential pathways for how you meet one another. One thing that I will say is, if you haven't met them yet, when you do meet them, there are right before you meet them, like if let's say you meet them in person and not online, it could be like, if let's say you meet them at a social event and you're like, I don't really feel like going to this thing, but I said I would go and I just have this feeling like I should go. That feeling might be the thing that's like getting you there, like even like against like all parts of you that don't want to do the thing, you do the thing anyway, and that's how things start. It could also be too that like they come into your life in a very fated way, in a very unexpected way. There really is no limits for how you can meet this person. The biggest thing is that like you can't control how they come into your life or when they come into your life. There's greater universal factors at play, but just know you won't miss them, and they will come into your life in the perfect time, in the perfect way, and you don't need to stress. And anyone who's already met this person will hopefully be able to confirm that, like, yeah, you know, this had to happen, and it could be like a series of factors that have to happen, like, you know, I lost my job and then I had to move to this new place and I got this new job and I made friends with this coworker, and this coworker's brother, you know, has a friend, and then that's how I met them. Like, you know what I mean? Like there could be a lot of different moving parts, but there's no limits to how you can meet this person. And it's incredibly important you keep your power and not try to, like, if you haven't met this person yet, like try to make it happen, because it's gonna happen in its own time, in its own way. Like you can't, like the example that I'm getting is like you can't force a baby out of you before you're ready to give birth, you know? Like your body's gonna determine that. I don't know the exact factors that determine that, but it's outside of the mother's control typically, right? Unless there's like an induction or something, I think. But it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, it's a natural process, and you kind of have to let it happen the way it's going to happen and surrender the fact that you're not in control of it. But wheels, you know, you could be around like cars or wheels of some kind, like a car show or something. But like I said, like even if, like, let's say for example, you have the opportunity to meet them and you make a choice that means you don't see them. The universe is not done cooking up possibilities. Like, this isn't a one and done sort of thing. Like, you're gonna find one another. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And actually, the less focused you are on the process, one, the more surprising it'll be when it does happen, and two, the more the universe can do its work without your conscious mind interfering with it. It'll happen. You just gotta trust and not be too attached to how it happens and when. I know that's frustrating, but isn't that life? Okay, now I want to look at a unique quality of this friendship for the both of you. And for this, I am focusing on the friendship elements, because even if you are in a romantic relationship with them or end up in one, there is a solid, like, you're best friends. You're more than just like romantic partners. Like, it's deeper than that. Like, there's a very solid friendship here. So focusing on that, Spirit, what is a unique quality of this friendship that is unique for both Pile 3 and their person? Please. We have the Seven of Pentacles, options and results. So I do think that there is an element of needing to have patience in this situation, in a way where things operate differently in this friendship in ways where they don't in others. Like, the best way I can explain this is there will have to be a lot of patience between the two of you. Like, especially if both of you are used to like getting things done, there's some element of this friendship where like you both have to be patient, and there are factors outside of the relationship itself that get in the way of you being able to spend more time with each other or being able to do more of the things you want to do together. It's like there will be times where you have to do things individually. Like, 7 is a highly individual number. But another unique aspect of this friendship is the fact that you both have a powerful ability to reap what you sow, and you sow a lot. So like, what I mean by that is you give each other a lot of creative inspiration, and I think you give the other a lot of support when it comes to achieving your own goals. I think there's a patience and a resilience between the two of you where you don't demand answers from one another. You give each other the room and the space that you need to work through things on your own, to deal with challenges as they come, and there's a really healthy sense of like, that's not my responsibility to do. I trust that this person can handle this and they'll do the same. I also think that the potential for what can be created here is really powerful. And, you know, this does make sense in terms of a friendship because, you know, friends have different levels of connection, different levels of, you know, how enmeshed they are. And I feel like the both of you have a lot of, and also there are like just limitations outside of, you know, the connection itself, where like, you know, friends that maybe could build something together can't because they're far away or they have other obligations and responsibilities. And it's like, if there are things that keep you apart or keep you from spending less time with one another, one unique aspect of this friendship is that these things are going to bring you closer together, and they're going to help the both of you be more patient and kind of surrender what's outside of your control, what's outside of your ability to take action. And I also think that like the ability to manifest separately and together is quite powerful. Like you both could create a lot of really incredible things, and like you could honestly create an empire with this person. Like the level of loyalty, like this is someone that like you could go into business with. And I actually said that in 2 different groups. Like you could go into business with this person and it actually wouldn't be, you might have very heated debates about what you think, and there might be challenges, but you could. I do feel though there will be this sense of like wanting to keep certain things separate and wanting to keep certain things just for yourselves. But I think another unique aspect of this is that you may go through periods of time with this friendship where like you are unable to see each other as much as you'd like, or you're unable to spend as much time together as you would like. And there's a lot of powerful growth that happens as a result, and you just appreciate each other more deeply. Like it's almost like you see other friends that you could have, you see other lives that you could pursue. But it seems like one similarity between you and this person is that, you know, one of the bonds between the two of you is the fact that you have similar goals that you're working towards, and they may be goals that you're achieving separately, but like the core values are the same. Like that affirmation said earlier, like following, you know, following your heart's deepest passions. Like, you know, there is a loyalty to those causes that, you know, bonds the both of you. And I also think that it may take time for the iron to be forged between the two of you. Like I said, like this is a friendship forged in iron. It cannot be broken, but there will be heat. Like, you know, how is iron made? I don't know, but I do know there's probably fire involved. So I definitely think that you both will go through processes of transformation. And I actually think one of the really like crazy things about this friendship is going to be just how much you both grow together, and how it's like, you know, diamonds are formed under pressure. It's like you guys are going, and I don't think this is pressure with each other. I think this is pressure in your individual lives, and the pressure of not knowing, the pressure of what choices do I make? And I think there's this real patience and understanding and respect between the two of you, where in other friendships, people may not be as patient. People may not understand. People may not respect why you do things the way you do them. There's a real respect for each other's processes, respect for each other's needs. And if those needs require, you know, more time on your own, or less time to spend on, you know, hanging out with each other because you've got, you know, things to do, and it's like, well, we want to accomplish these goals so that we can spend more time together, or so that, you know, we can go on a really fabulous vacation together, or, you know, we can do something even more fun. It's like both of you, I think, one, have common goals that you don't have with anyone else in your life, and you both have the tenacity and the discipline and the drive to meet those goals, and to deny yourself immediate gratification for a better outcome. So like, for example, if you guys, like, let's say you both want to go on like a crazy shopping spree, and you're like, well, we both want to have $10,000 of disposable income, and you're like, well, we're not even close to that. Well, we're not going to go shopping until we've hit that goal, and until we have that level of disposable income individually to go and shop till we drop. Real Blair Waldorf moment. Well, I guess Blair Waldorf and Serena van der Woodsen, they didn't have to save. They just got it. But it's even more powerful because you earn it. You know what I mean? I also think that, like, it doesn't matter what happens between the two of you. It's all leading to greater horizons between the two of you and a closer bond. Like, whatever the both of you go through, you grow through. And, like, there could be, and yes, I say like, I'm sorry. There's an element here where you may not always know why certain things are happening between the two of you. You may not always know what choices you guys should make together, but there is no wrong choices, and everything just leads you to a deeper understanding of yourselves and each other. This is a really like powerful, it's a really powerful friendship, and one that gets better with time. And it's also one that I think if you already know this person and you already have this established friendship with them, you can't predict or anticipate how it will continue to grow. But I think there's this inner knowing that it's just going to be even more beautiful and even stronger. And I love that. I've never gotten such a deep interpretation of the Seven of Pentacles, but you will have a patience with one another that I think is unique to the both of you, and you will value one another's goals in a way that other people haven't. You know, if there are people that saw your goals as frivolous or your method or your process as dumb or weird or they didn't get it, there is none of that here. Like, even if you don't get the other's process, you respect that it's theirs and don't interfere with that or try to change that. There's a real like respect for each other's differences and respect for how you go about doing things, and recognizing that what works for you is more important than what the other thinks works. And I think that's really cool. Okay, so I want to see one thing that this person will love about you, or will love about you if they haven't met you yet. So Spirit, what is one thing that this person will... Sorry, this thing has been... My sleeves been... I'm sorry if that little thing has been annoying. What is one thing that pile 3's person will love about pile 3? Okay. You have the the Five of Pentacles, persistence, new possibilities. You are a fighter, and not only a fighter, but you, and yeah, the devil on the back of the deck. You can be thrown to a pack of wolves, and those wolves might tear at you for a hot minute, but you will eat those wolves for breakfast once you've gotten that power. One thing that they respect about you, I feel like this person has or will see you at your lowest, see you at your most disempowered, see you at even your brokest, at your most broken. And one thing they will love about you is your willingness to change your circumstances, your willingness to not give up, and your patience with that process. Ladybugs could be significant. I think maybe one thing that they love about you is your grounded perspective. Like you're not someone who judges people, and you're not someone who looks down on someone else because they have less or they don't have, you know, as much. Like we were talking earlier, the conversation about winners and losers, they might look down on someone who has a losing attitude, but they don't look down on their circumstances and don't see their worth based in their circumstances. They love that you don't give up, and they love that you don't take hardship as a reflection of your worth, or as a reflection of what you're deserving of, or as a reflection of where you'll always be. They love that you take your challenges as an opportunity to get even stronger. You know, you eat challenge for breakfast the same way you ate those wolves. Like, you are someone who may be down and out sometimes, and if you get knocked down, you might stay down there for a little bit if you're extra tired, but you're always getting back up. I also think that they love that you don't, like I said, you don't discriminate. You know, you are someone who is accepting of others, and you don't judge people, but you are discerning of who you let into your circle, because you have learned that, you know, there are helpful people in your life and unhelpful people in your life. You know, there are people that bring you closer to where you want to go, and there are people that, you know, hold you back. And I think one thing that they love about you is, number one, you see them clearly, and they love that you're just a very ride or die sort of person. And this is not for all of you, but for some of you, definitely look at the glass half full, and they really appreciate that. But they also, you know, they love that you don't take a failure or a loss or a struggle as, like I said, a determinant of your worth, or as a sign that you're not meant to succeed, or as a sign that you're not meant to do more or be more. You don't take those hard times as a reflection of yourself. You take those hard times as, you know, for what they are, but fuel for the future that you want to cultivate. They see you as someone who has grown through a lot, or they will see you grow through a lot. And I think one thing that they really appreciate about you is your willingness to open a window when a door is closed, a willingness to move through hard challenges and not give up. You also have an incredible amount of discipline and an incredible ability to carry challenge on your shoulders. I think you're also the type of person who has carried a lot of challenge for others, and I think that you're learning what challenges are yours to carry and what aren't. And I think they respect the fact that, you know, you are someone who is very selfless and who is willing to shoulder burden for others, even if it would be easier if you didn't, because you know you are loyal to the people you care about and you don't want the people that you care about to struggle. And I think there's an awareness, like, you know, with each other you might let the other struggle because you know ultimately they can tie their shoes. But you know, if it's someone where you're like, this person isn't going to be able to tie their shoes and I don't want them to trip, like, they recognize that you would tie their shoes for them and try to teach them how to tie their shoes. And you know what, if they don't want to learn, then yeah, you might stop teaching them to tie, you might stop tying their shoes, but at the very least you can say you tried. You have an integrity that is rare, and I think that they also see you as someone that you are the same person, whether in struggle or in success, however you perceive that. And there's a lot of success that comes through struggle, and they see that, you know, you are someone who doesn't give up on your goals, and they just really respect your ability to move through challenge in ways where you don't lose sight of your spirit and you don't fall back onto patterns of thinking or patterns of behavior that are disempowering to yourself, or that, you know, you don't justify self-destructiveness the way others might in the face of suffering or struggle. And it's like, yeah, you might do that at times, but you don't get attached to it. You don't use it as a justification. You'll be real with yourself and be like, yep, I'm doing this maladaptive coping mechanism right now because I'm struggling, but I know that that's not okay. I just want to do it anyway, and I'm not saying that this is okay or this is right, but it's my choice. Like, I think they love that. One thing that they love is that, like, you own your choices, you own what you're doing, and you own, you know, you also own the consequences. It's like, you know, it's one thing to choose to do the maladaptive thing because it's your choice and you know what the outcome is going to be, and it's another to choose the maladaptive thing and then moan about it to others even though you knew what the outcome would be and victimize yourself about it. You know, there's a difference. You had a choice. And, like, if you accept the consequences and take it on the chin, like, then yeah, go do it. There's a real lack of patience, I think, for both of you when it comes to people that are more than capable of seeing their own shit but choosing to hold on to a story that keeps them disempowered and that makes them look powerless, that makes them look incapable, and maybe they believe they're incapable. But at the very least, both of you know that they have the power to do something differently. They love that you would never do that you would never fall into that. And even if you ever did, as soon as you saw it, you would correct it. Deep level of respect here. I love that. Okay, so now I want to get a message from them to you. And if you haven't met them yet, then this message will be from their higher self. But if you have met them, it's from their human self. So pile 3s, current or future best friend. What message do you have for pile 3 at this time? What would you like them to know? Sorry, the thing's doing the thing again. Okay. We have the 3 of Swords, release and recovery. So I feel like what they want you to know is that whatever you are going through, things are getting better, things are getting brighter. I feel like they want you to know they're not far away, whether you've met them yet or not. They want you to know that they're always with you in spirit, and that it's okay to be more vulnerable with what you need and with your emotions if you are struggling. With the 3 of Swords as well, if you've been working really hard to release stories that disempower you, release stories that, you know, keep you stuck and keep you trapped, they just really want to commend you on all the work that you've done to heal and grow from, you know, what has harmed you. And I also think that, oh, this is taking me back to Howl. You know, at the end of the movie, which I'm sorry, but I'm going to spoil a movie from 2004. Well, and it's also a book, but we're going off the movie. You know, the character Sophie says to Hal after she, you know, puts his heart back, you know, Hal's like, my chest is so heavy, and she says, a heart's a heavy burden. And I feel like your current or future best friend is really saying, thank you for not letting go of your heart, and thank you for being strong enough to move through the pains that come with living an embodied, heart-centered life. They really want to commend you for, you know, being honest about your pain, being honest about the things that you're struggling with, and being willing to heal and grow from that which has hurt you. They also want you to know that things won't be like this forever, and part of the beauty of having a heart is experiencing the bliss of just utter love, and not just love, the love that will exist between the two of you, or that does exist between the two of you, but you know, the love that the universe has for all creation, the love that we have in our hearts for what we're passionate about, the love that keeps us going through hard times, the love that keeps us on the track that's meant for us rather than, you know, the one that's easy. There's a real, like, there's just a sense of thanks, like, thank you for doing what is true, not what is easy. Thank you for honoring your heart and honoring what's true for you instead of doing what others want or doing what others say is right. They also want you to know that they're working through their own things, not in a way where maybe they're dealing with heartbreak of some kind, but I feel like they want you to know that whether you've met them or not, that they're moving through a lot of past pain and healing, so that could be a cycle that you both are going through at this time. But I think one thing they want to remind you is that the story you write is very powerful, and they're really proud of all that you've done to let go of stories that keep you stuck and that keep you thinking that you're not enough. You're a winner, baby. You're a winner, baby, and you're writing a winning story, a story that is suited for the power of your spirit. I feel like they're also wanting to commend you for any changes that you've made that are causing you to kind of face whatever you've avoided, and the fact that it might be really uncomfortable, but they're, you know, saying how proud they are that you've done that, and they're really commending you for that, and they want you to know that things are getting better. And like, look at this sun here. You know, I feel like whatever changes you may be going through, I feel like it's leading you right to them if you haven't met them yet. And if you have, I feel like lighter days are coming for the both of you. Like, if you've been through a challenging cycle or been through some really hard stuff, I feel like they want you to know, like, thank you for being the person that I can lean on when things are hard. Thank you for being a source of strength when I didn't have that strength. And I feel like they also want you to know that they want to be that for you if you haven't given them that opportunity, or they will be that for you if you haven't met them yet. And they also just want you to know, like, how they would rather weather constant storms with you than be in a sunshiny paradise without you. There's a real, like they love you very much, and whether they've met you or not, their soul, like, knows you, their soul loves you. And I think that they want you to know that you're going through a really powerful healing process, and to give yourself the time and energy necessary to just be there with yourself and be there for yourself, and to be patient, but to also know that, like, there's a lot more light coming. Dawn is breaking, and you are going to find yourself in a much lighter situation soon. And the work that you're doing now is what is responsible for that. So kudos to that, and good for you, Pile 3. All of these energies aren't easy, but they're worth it. And I feel like that's the biggest thing that they want you to know, is what you're doing isn't easy, but it will be worth it. You may not be able to see, you know, the rewards that come through this, or you may not be able to feel the rewards that come through these processes of healing yet, but you will. And when you do, you'll be like, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I moved through this. I'm so glad I chose to keep moving towards the light. I'm so glad I didn't stay attached to this and believe that this could be unhealed, or believe that I couldn't be worth more. Like, it's very powerful, very beautiful. And I think that they just want you to know that you're powerful and beautiful, and that they love you very much, whether they've met you yet or not. So we're gonna go ahead and finish off with a little book divination. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna like close my eyes and go through this and stop at a random point, and we'll see what the message is. So Spirit, what final message do you have for pile 3, please? The insight of no self. Sometimes when I practice calligraphy, I invite my mother, my father, or my ancestors to draw with me. Although they have already passed away, we are drawing together. I touch the insight of no self, and it becomes a deep practice of meditation. The meditation, work, joy, and life become one. When I walk for my father. I walk for my mother. I walk for my teacher. I walk for my students. Maybe your mother or father never knew how to walk mindfully, enjoying every moment and every step. So we can walk in mindfulness for them, and all of us will benefit. So I think that this is very powerful. Is there anything else behind that? Okay. Yeah, so I definitely think that there is an encouragement here. Like, when you can't do it for you, do it for those that you love. Do it for the younger version of you. And also, like, you know, if you are having struggles, it might be helpful to try this idea of no self, so that you can come into deeper union with yourself when it feels right. And I definitely think as well, like, there is an encouragement here to see how connected you are to things beyond just you, and to, you know, really try to be present with what is now, even though you may not be where you want to be, or the things that you're desiring may not be here yet, but to know that you already have so much, and you're already worth so much, and that so much is already coming to you. And yeah, take this as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, you can discard it, but hopefully it's helpful. But pile 3, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show support and appreciation for me and my channel. So thank you to everyone who does that. If you would like to support me in other ways, you can like the video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, you can check out my candles, be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can check out my social media, you can check out my other videos. But yeah, I think that's all I have. So thank you guys so much for watching and for letting me read for you. Shout out to my intro squad and to my notification squad. If you want me to see your comments, I usually see comments when I first upload. But that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye.